Turn the music down, Pat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hands On Podcast. I'm Jim Miller, Dan Miller, Pat McKern's behind the switcher,
aka the safety zone.
And yeah, the safety zone. And today, fortunately for us,
very special guest.
We took the boss, the old man, the crazy guy,
and
we got rid of him. And Pat's moving the camera, and we've got old Bo, we've got Bo Cephas, Duane Finley
from Flow
Combat sitting in between us, and
he did not want to come here.
No, he didn't.
But you know what? Jim and I are a little bigger than him. So we kind of drug him.
We kind of had to trap him
between us.
We had to trap him.
I think it's funny how you're changing the narrative already. like you think that you're on this bed with me, that I'm in this bed with you, but you're in this bed with me. All right.
It's like, oh shit, we gotta go.
Like
but the only thing I wish Jim had told me, because I wouldn't wear sweatpants because this boner's gonna. You know what I mean?
He's pitching a tent. He's just folded down.
Dude, you got tough skins on, man. You're cool. Like, you're all right. Like, the beef can't get through the denims.
Yeah, we're.
You know what I mean? Nobody's safe. That's how I like it. This is a dangerous podcast, hands-on podcast, so I'm good to be here.
The handsome podcast.
The
handsome podcast.
That is so not true.
According to the Dud.
It's like a play in words.
Yeah.
Big John, Little John.
Oh, like a reverse nickname, like
It's a handsome podcast.
like guys like bald guy Harry.
Yeah, that's right.
Tiny.
Tiny.
So we are we are in Indianapolis. We are in the great city of Indianapolis. I don't even know what Indianapolis is called.
I was hoping you would say state, because that would have been awesome.
No,
great state of Indianapolis.
All right, so this is how it works in Indiana, right? There's a hierarchy here. It goes Jesus, NASCAR, and Mellencamp. If you can just agree to any of those three things, you're all right. You go against any of those three things, and you got a problem.
John Cougar.
Oh, whoa. See, but he said Johnny Cougar, so he knows. He knows.
I do.
He
I'm
went
a
straight
fan.
Jack and Diane.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Cougar.
Cougar! Shit, man. Has somebody heard that down the hall? Man, they burned this hotel room down.
Listen, we got Greg from A&W. He's a silent killer, dude.
He is.
He's a psychopath.
That's a hell of a beard, man.
He is.
Strong game.
Yeah, he's like, if anybody in here was gonna mutilate a corpse, I think.
Wait a minute. I'm not getting out of this hotel room.
That
guy. Like that's why he's here. You're like,
so we're probably blowing up. Are we blowing up? Are we blowing up the peaks? I see a red light flashing.
No, we are not blowing up the peaks.
So
we're not
we
recording.
did lose a camera.
No, we're probably not recording. So we came out to Indiana for the ATAs, the Archery Trade Association show, just to be a part of it, because we like to shoot shit, and as we met him the other day, Kip Campbell, Red Hour TV.
That's right.
I'm a fan of his. Because he is a redneck, and I love that. He says he likes to double lung things and watch them bleed to death, and I like that idea. So we came out to be a part of it and meet some people and rub some elbows, and it just so happens that old Bo Cephas.
I live here, and I was like, man, I saw you guys posting. You guys you're having a great time at the trade show, and I'm like,
track us down.
Like, you son of a bitch. Are you seriously gonna come here? I mean, we made great memories here. What people don't realize is, I know that video got a lot of clicks, but Jimmy Miller doing Careless Whisper happened 25 miles north of here. Like, he's a local legend.
Seriously, you know it.
And
you know what?
What am I then?
You know what sucks? You're a local legend.
You're a liability.
Dan is an Uber legend.
Yeah, Dan Miller, the only guy who's ever shit in an Uber. and like I said, let me tell the story privately. Like, so people know.
Privately, let's tell it privately.
No, I said properly, not privately.
Okay, sorry.
That's the slow Miller, brother. The Miller. Anyway, so Danny's had a bunch to drink. We're celebrating. I believe. Legend Chris Lytle was with us.
Yes.
We just got done singing "Don't Stop Believing" as a group harmony.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Dan has got like 9 glasses on this table because that's where we were sitting. Dan gets sick. but he's so proper and decent. He doesn't want to throw up on the table or on the floor. He starts grabbing random pint glasses and just filling them with puke. That poor waitress made like $6 that night.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you know what? The Uber driver got his back because you shit all over his back seat and he like taxed us.
Don't tell lies.
I did not.
That's
shit on
that's
the
some
Uber
that's
card.
some creative license there, Duane. No, what he did is he walked out.
did.
We called the Uber, and Dan, we walk out, and it's the three of us, and we walk out to the curb, and Dan is like, we're helping him out, and he's like, I need to poop, and just like flops down on the curb. And it's like, are you pooping right here?
Listen, I had a lot to drink.
Yeah,
that
you
night.
did. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We had, and then like I sang Careless Whisper to you. I mean, it was dedicated to you that night.
It was great. Like I'm not gonna lie, man. It was like I've seen people go for it on karaoke, but like that was it.
Yeah.
That was that jam. Like you and I message each other all the time, and we always like joke around. But like that was like, you know what, slow clap. Like that was perfect.
But then I feel bad because then I got the greatest Christmas present ever.
Yes.
From your daughter, and she learned how to play the saxophone.
For Careless Whisper.
For Careless Whisper. And then she sent it to me, and then I had the audacity to then sing to it.
To kill George Michael.
And then, like, 2 days later, George Michael died. It was his last Christmas. He probably watched it, and it was like, oh, shit.
That's it. I
He's
gotta leave now.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck these guys.
Yep.
They don't respect me anymore.
I can leave. No.
I think he had achieved his dreams.
Exactly. I think it's
he
quite
had
the
hit
opposite.
a musical pinnacle that he knew he could never do.
He's like this,
so he checked
this.
out.
He hears the tenor sax like whining and Jim singing every time. He's like, you know what? I've done everything I needed to do. I've sucked all the dicks. Can I say that?
You can't say that.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen, if they're tuning into this thing,
Okay. All right. So yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, I've done all the things I need to do. I can leave now. God damn it, Miller.
Yeah, this is not Flow Combat.
This isn't your mother's podcast.
Yeah, no. So he was probably like, here's some professional athlete making an ass out of himself in his basement so that you can't hear his kid screaming. Singing my songs, and I've done it.
That's it. I can leave now.
I've done it.
I can leave now.
I've accomplished more than anyone has ever accomplished.
Exactly. You know what? Let me say that I'm proud of you guys because we've talked a long time. Like you guys doing your own stuff. Mm-hmm. This hands-on podcast and
handsome.
these the handsome or the unhandsome podcast and the videos you guys have been putting out. You know what's funny is like I get a lot of people say, well, oh man, like, I don't know what you did to Jim Miller, but you like broke him out of his shell. I'm like, no, dude, you guys don't understand. If you really knew Jim Miller, this fucker's goofy from the jump. Like, he's been that way as long as I've known him.
I've been a fucking weirdo since day one.
Yeah, but like people think you're like Creedence Clearwater, like walk out like, when it's fighting, it's fighting.
It's fighting. It's fighting. And like I've said it, I say it every time. Every time that we do an interview or anybody else says, you ask me the same questions about fighting, and I'm giving you the same answers.
I don't ask you the same questions.
I know. I'm saying, like, I've told you.
Yes, you have.
Like, I take fighting seriously, but I enjoy cracking jokes. I enjoy busting balls and making people laugh, man.
You're good at I'll take one.
Like, that's the thing. We went on John Dudley, Knock on TV.
Yeah.
We've talked about him once or twice on the podcast. I got one right here, buddy. We went on his podcast the other night. And it's like the saying goes, never get into an argument with an idiot because they're going to drag it down to their level and beat you with experience. And that's exactly what we did on his podcast. It was like we went on and like.
Very technical.
Yeah, here's a guy that his podcast. I mean, it's archery technique and bow hunting, and like I love it. Yeah. And
a lot of information.
He's competed. He's been on the U.S. team and all this shit. And
there was nothing.
We get into a room with him, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, how many stupid things have you done? And
we talked about ninja shit.
Yeah.
He ended up kicking the ceiling.
Yeah. No shit. Like that door jam up there, like you guys can't see it.
Yeah.
We're talking like 7 feet up, John is pretty tall,
He's
and
like-
he
yeah,
throws like
6'5".
he's pretty flexible too. He posted up a picture.
Nails the ceiling.
Yeah, kicks the ceiling. And that's what
That's what we bring out, people.
we bring. Like we just joke around because there's no sense in taking shit too seriously.
That's true.
You know, so
That's true.
I take fighting seriously because it's serious business. I would love to walk out like Genki Sudo and do the robot or, do one of those dance things, but I just could never bring myself to do it.
But see, now, as from a storyteller's point of view, since I've seen that and I've seen who you guys are as people, that was the whole motivation to go spend more time and to tell a bigger story, because you guys are, like you said, all jokes aside, yeah, the jackassery and all that's fun and games, but you guys are remarkable human beings. Like, if you knew, seriously,
because we're capable of breathing.
No, because you guys are modest fuckers, right?
You did what?
Right. No, you guys are modest. You guys are modest people. But you guys obviously won't tout your own story. So it's been great over the last 5 years, to really dig in and tell your guys' story. And I hope in those efforts that I've made that people understand you better. And I do feel like, because I got a lot of accolades or feedback. Oh, that was a great story. But it's like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. And I hate to say this because it sounds fucking stupid, but I hate when somebody reads it and like, hey, that's a great story. That doesn't mean really anything to me. I mean, that's not my job is to tell it right.
Mm-hmm.
When you or your dad and somebody comes up and says, hey, you know what? You told that story better than anybody else has, then that's like the payment, right?
Yeah.
And then the hand jobs too. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
The best hand jobs in the business.
Yeah,
I mean,
Duane gives the best. Yeah.
This one's a tugger. This one's a
He
puller.
really, no, Duane just enjoys. He's a giver. He's a giver.
No, bullshit. No way.
But honestly, I will say that that those hands. No,
I got small hands. So it makes you feel
That's
better.
why we like
It makes-
you.
yeah.
Shit, this is huge.
Dan looks gigantic.
Yeah,
Look how big this looks. It's huge in his hand.
that camping trip, it was, I mean, it was kind of a little bit of our coming out party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in a serious
Don't
way.
laugh. In
Yeah.
a serious way. Because it was like nobody. I mean, we spent a little bit of time together. Like before that, it was like, okay, we hung out, we played ping pong, and we talked here and there.
Yeah,
but
we got on well. We got on
Yeah.
well, good enough to know that if we wanted to do something like that, it was worth to take the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was our first,
Yeah.
yeah.
After that happened, after we went out and made 80 million deliverance jokes.
True.
I don't know. It just kind of, it was like, all right, well, you know what? Fuck it. Here's that Duane saw us. Duane saw who we are, as not only as me personally as a fighter, but us as a family, and just, like I said, we joke around, and there is absolutely nothing that another human being could say to me that I haven't heard at the dinner table.
Right.
So it's like, 'cause we're just that type. If I don't bust your balls, that probably means that I don't like you.
But let me ask you this: in all the years you both have been doing this, had anybody ever taken that time to come out and
No.
find out who you are?
No.
No, never.
And I'll tell you this: after we came out of the woods and all that, because we were moving on on that road trip, and we went to your pop's house to take a shower because we didn't want to drive in that car smelling that campfire smoke.
And he's a
But-
big man, and you thought, he was probably packing more heat.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, what I pride myself in doing is, I saw in that instance, I saw your family, who you are,
Oh, God. I
and
hate
your
your choice of
dynamic.
gear.
And it was like, you know what? That's something. I'm like, here's a guys, that people think they just know,
Mhm.
but they don't have a fucking clue
Yeah.
how much first off, like, where you guys get your grit, where you get your toughness, how much shit,
Mom.
You guys have been through. Like, I don't mean to get serious, but it's like, I saw this and I'm like, man, these guys are fucking amazing. And to kind of throw, because I know a fight game is so unforgiving. You win, you can win 6 and then you lose 1 and then everybody's like, fuck them, they forget you,
It sucks.
Right, it does suck. But that's the thing, is like, the guys that I've known in the sport that I call my friends, like, it doesn't matter what the fuck happens. These are the guys that I'm going to come see on Memorial Day weekend I actually have 3 days off work, which I never get. I'll stop by and see you, and we'll have dinner and we'll joke. And then we're going to know each other long after this shit. But, I'm not naming names, but none of these other fuckers do that. Like, they don't care enough. They want you to say something stupid so they can put it on their website and get a clicks.
Yeah.
Oh, Bo worries about the story and cirrhosis.
I actually, it's kind of funny you say that because, growing up, I've been friends with them, and when they first made it big, I would listen to every interview that they had, and I remember one that Dan and Jim were both on, and I can't even remember whose it was right now, and they had prepared nothing. They had nothing prepared except for they were like, so you're from Sparta, and 300 had just come out. And they're like, yeah, we're from Sparta, and they're like, so did you see 300? And they're like, yeah, it was a cool movie. And then they're like, this is Sparta, and Dan and Jim were like, yeah. And then that was it. They had nothing else. They didn't know anything about who they were as fighters. They didn't ask any questions. The interview fucking sucked. And it wasn't. They just didn't do any homework. Like, I don't know what they thought. They were just like, hey, we're gonna make some jokes about Sparta.
It's not even the homework. It's there's a it's not even just MMA. It's just journalism in general. That is like, you want to get those clicks. You want to get, you want to be first. You want to have something that people are gonna, because it's all about views. That's really it.
Yep.
It's nothing. It doesn't have to do with anything to do with content.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
quality
if somebody
doesn't have to
yeah,
be
if
there.
somebody clicks on the page, that means you get recognition for
Right,
it.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, and you know me, I'm the same way as you guys. I'm modest as hell, but I'm saying that
no, you're not.
the story means everything to me. So look at that
Oh my
guy.
God!
Look at
you know
that
what?
guy.
Here we are. We're ripping Stan to
Ripping
shreds, and he comes in and he's dressed like the St. Pauli girl,
I fucking love Stan.
and he's got beers galore.
Holy shit.
Stan, I love you because I'm drinking this stuff.
You're an all-star,
Stan,
Stan.
get in that bed. Get in the bed, Stan.
Stan.
You belong in there.
No, yeah, bring the whole tray with you and sit right here.
But hey, what I'm saying is this, and this is true. It stands true, and I think that's why we got along from the jump. Is the fact that my style of shit, like, it's not an interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just talk.
We just talk, and that's exactly it. Is it's like, whoop.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Danny,
Look at that. Oh, you bring him the same stuff that he's already drinking.
I'd take it.
Yeah.
Am I drinking this? All right, thank you. And that like, I don't even know where and how we got onto it, but yeah, like that's exactly it.
My
It's
interviews
not
nobody-
really, yeah, it's
nobody
not an
ever-
interview. It's a conversation.
Yeah, nobody ever had a
between friends.
conversation.
Yeah.
right.
Nobody ever had a conversation, and then like all of a sudden we're in the middle of the woods, not as far as it felt like into the woods.
Yeah.
It's far enough.
Well, yeah.
Far enough.
Listen, Bo and I, we walked for
Yeah.
how long?
It was a good 45 minutes to get out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, we walked a long fucking time.
But
In the pitch black, trying to get some more beer.
but that speaks to the I was giving you shit about this last night because I felt like it was
I was
pitch.
safe.
It
We
was
were
pitch.
safe.
Yeah, we were safe.
Yeah.
I was tucked up next to you like,
Yeah.
holy shit, something bad's gonna happen. But you walked us out of those woods and complete
Pitch black.
nothing.
I mean, like it. Unfortunately, it took that. Like it took that. It took. I can't imagine taking sparkly shoes.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that dude out in the woods with you? Like, I mean, come on.
It would be. It'd be fun.
It
It'd
would
be
be
fun.
fun.
But like, it took that. It took bringing you and getting you away from
MMA.
MMA and
It was just the family.
the same bullshit.
For
And
you
now all of a
Miller
sudden it's
that
like,
night.
yeah, exactly. It's like you guys, and Glow.
Yep,
And-
the big Glow.
And Creepy Hands Dan.
And Parm.
I love you, Parm.
Yeah.
Parm.
Parm.
Dance
To,
Weenie.
to I love it.
That's his real name, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it's Dan Sweeney.
Yeah, it sounds like Dan Sweeney, though.
Yeah, but it's definitely Weenie. But
Yes.
taking you guys and bringing, like, it's like we brought you into the woods, and it sounds really weird saying this.
Yeah, it
but
almost sounds
like,
like
we brought you-
metaphorical, right?
we brought you into the woods away from where anybody could hear your screams.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yes.
and
We
it brought
made them
it
love
brought your
us.
guard down, and it brought our guard down, and
It
like,
turned out awesome.
it turned out awesome. And then like that like I said, that was the thing. Is it's like, holy shit, you wrote this fucking story on us, and it's like that is like we've had some really good ones. There were a couple before that were pretty fucking good
Articles.
articles.
Written us? Yeah.
There were some good ones
Yeah.
before that, but this was like
Nothing showed
this
who
was
we are.
yeah, it was absolutely like purely us,
Yeah.
but away from fighting.
Yep.
And
Yeah, there were articles before that
Because-
showed us who we are in the fight game, and what has happened to us and throughout the years. But it's never been like us as real people outside of the gym, outside of MMA. And that article was the first time it was like, hey, they actually have a personality,
Dude.
and no, they have. It's like, holy shit, people like that.
Yeah.
Dude, and I still, to this day, it's funny, I was going to bring it. I have that dowel rod that you guys did, the bow, like
Yeah.
how you guys like the fire.
Pretended to start the fire.
No, yeah, right.
We had matches,
But-
and gasoline.
Here's the thing, right? And then I brought Glow on that trip with me because he had never spent that much time. Like this kid has so much potential, but he never had that kind of exposure. I'm like, look, these are the realest guys you're gonna be with, but you gotta pay attention to the story. And that was the thing, is I never turned the recorder on once. Like it was never any formality.
Yeah.
But I told the shit out of that thing because I cared enough to
Pay attention.
and we've been friends ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd like to think that we were friends before that.
we were friends before that.
but we
this
weren't
thing
as
is-
close. I mean, we bonded.
Duane rubbed my shoulders for what?
Oh,
How long?
dude, that was hilarious. Chicago, right? Jimmy fought in Chicago, and I'm walking back in the media way, and fucking Danny's sitting on this chair, just like waiting for
Just
whatever.
waiting for Jim.
And so I see him, and so I go up, and start rubbing his shoulders, and he didn't even like bother. He didn't flinch.
Didn't
He didn't look
move.
behind like, hey,
Like,
what's that?
Listen, somebody's giving me a massage.
I'm just gonna
so
take
I
it.
wasn't moving. I was just
Yeah.
taking
He
it.
just like take
Didn't
it,
matter
and,
who it
and then
was.
like literally 15 seconds later, he's like, oh
Oh,
hey,
wait.
Bo.
Oh wait, somebody tries to put their finger in my butt. That must be Bo.
I came back around with it. It was like the trombone thing. Yeah.
No, it was just like
You know what's funny though, Jim, Dan? I think people who look at this thing from the outside don't understand like how fucked up of a circus it is. It seems like a big
Dude.
thing, but it's a small insulated community.
it's. It really is, and like the amazing thing is like because we were. I don't know that story that you did. It almost felt like holy shit. It wasn't so much that we were putting on a front, that we were like hiding it away. It's just that we never had the opportunity.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is
Nobody ever
neither
asked
of
us to dance.
Yes, neither of us are the type to be like, hey, this is who we are.
We're not
Yeah.
very forthcoming with it,
Right.
but like
It kind of just it
It's-
was natural.
it's
Bo
it's
makes it natural.
yeah, it does.
It just feels right.
It does. And I
That's
can't
how,
stop
that's,
burping.
how, that's how I got two babies out of this one.
Yep.
Bo just makes it feel right.
You know,
2020.
listen up, Renee.
Right.
the really weird thing about it is like we're here in Indy and we're at a freaking archery and hunting expo, like trade show. It is exactly the same.
Yeah.
It is exactly
As
the same.
MMA.
It is. You can feel that certain guys are putting on this front.
Yep.
And
It
and,
just tells you
and
that
certain people are like
people are the same.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Industries,
Fighting,
anything.
archery, hunting, whatever. I don't care what it would be. Is that people are? Yeah, they're guarding themselves.
Yeah, well, you heard that guy that was just downstairs, the fan, talking to you. He goes, I paid this money to come down here, and he mentioned off a bunch of, like, 4 or 5 people that I've never heard of because this isn't my world. But he said, I'm so upset because I went to their booth.
Mm-hmm.
I went to say, hey, I love your show, and they could give a fuck less, right? And that's exactly how MMA is. Everything is, right? So that's what makes you guys different. I've never seen either of you guys, like, turn down a fan to say, hey, here's a conversation, not just like a picture and a what's up. You guys will give a conversation, but how many times you see a fighter who's hot and on a win streak be like, oh, fuck everybody, and then all of a sudden they're Tim Sylvia here. I'm going to keep on this, dude.
You keep on it. Get on it.
Dude, I might fight Tim Sylvia.
You should. You don't chop a tree down at the top.
That's right.
No.
You chop
It down. You chop it down at the base of the trunk.
I might bet on Duane on that fight.
I would too.
I'll get him.
Yeah, it's
not Tim Sylvia.
yeah.
You know, no,
Listen, I liked him.
Yeah. I'm just saying that was an easy target.
But it seems like it's human nature to kind of like
People are guarded. They're very guarded.
become you.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta take a piss.
Oh,
Too many
Dan
fucking
can't
beers.
do it.
Wait, Dan's pulling out early.
Yes, Dan never
Classic.
pulls out.
Classic.
Dan never pulls out.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Isn't that right, Kristen?
You can go the other way.
Oh, now this is more like it.
That's right. This is where
This
disappointment stops.
Yeah, no, you got to lean forward a little. There we go. So, that like what
It's
I was
like
saying.
a hostage situation.
Yeah.
Can somebody text my wife and be like, send money or the cops?
Or say Duane is cheating on you.
Yeah, or say, come on, it's
going to the-
it's time.
Wait, the
we
last-
finally got him. We finally got
The
him.
last time my dick touched his leg, it was in my house.
Duane is like, see, we took Dudley down, and you're just like, I mean, you're telling people about the time that we snuggled while you were naked, and I was on my.
That was a bro conversation.
It was a bro
It just
conversation.
happened at 5 in the morning while I was naked. But
Listen, some people, when they're drunk and they're comfortable.
you see Sparkle Shoes doing that, right?
I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Duane, I got a question for you
Yeah.
as a journalist who gets to interview a ton of different MMA fighters, and obviously, like, you brought out a completely different side to Dan and Jim. Do you think that they are unique in having that side, or do you think it's just about getting people to talk about it?
No. They're 100% unique, and this fucking idiot to my right won't ever admit it because he's modest. But no, that's my left. Yep, that's Jersey for you.
There you go.
No, Pat.
I love you, Stan.
They're very unique, and that's the whole
I
thing.
missed
Is
you.
that the whole thing is like here's my principle in life, and this goes to journalism or whatever. It's always the same. If I see you one time and I see you the next time and the next time after that, and you're the same person, then that's who you are. Okay, and that's how I've built friends for years. I have the same friends forever because every time I see you, you're the same person. Then I can catch up with you, and it's the same thing because it's genuine. Every time I ever saw these guys, they were always the same person.
We were avoiding him.
Yeah, they were. But in the fight game, that changes. That changes. So yeah, I think they're very unique, and I think that's the whole appeal of it is the fact that now that these guys are doing this podcast and they're doing their show and they're getting out there, I think people are going to see what I've always seen. And that's what I'm saying. I'm a huge fan of it. Like, these guys, I don't make a fucking dollar off anything I've ever done. Like, I just want to tell their story and tell it the right way, and if it helps in some way for them, that's great. But what I want to see is that the fact that people out there get to see who they are because they crack me up. I get a kick out of them. I mean, but between
Who else is jumping off the fucking top ropes?
yeah,
and fucking yanking some dude in a fucking bikini and suspenders up off the mat.
Let me tell you guys how this story, because they'll post a video so you can see it if you haven't seen it already. But it literally took one text. I said, "Hey, Bret Hart's gonna be somewhere," and they're like, "We're fucking there."
You know what? Listen, last year I was like, I'm gonna admit something. I was in a fucking bad place. I was in a bad place in the beginning of the year. I was
Cleveland.
No, man. I was fucking like.
Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah.
You see these
The
fuckers
old
getting sentimental.
steamer. I was fucking. And I don't know if it was only because of the lime or if it was because of everything involved, but I felt like shit, and I was performing like shit, and I was fucking, the gym wasn't doing as well as it should have been doing, or it wasn't, I was still kind of putting a little money
Did you
in.
just talk about yourself in third person?
No.
You said the
Not
gym.
The
gym.
Not Jim.
Not me.
The gym.
Not
The
me.
gym.
Our facility.
Holy shit, we got like Inception going on.
Yeah.
All right.
I know I had a dream like that the other night, but anyway.
The gym.
The gym.
I was in a
He's
fucking.
a creepy dude. The
I am.
Jim.
I am.
Jim.
He is a creepy dude. He is a creepy
The
dude.
gym spooned me tight last night.
Yeah, I woke up on top of Pat.
Listen,
It's true. But anyway, listen. I'm telling a really deep story here.
Oh,
all right,
sorry.
I'm trying to break my walls down.
The gym's telling a deep story. Let
I
me
am.
go.
The gym.
He kissed Pat McGurn.
I didn't tell a story.
I just
We
had to
were
get that
playing
out there.
chicken. We were playing chicken, and I won.
You can't beat Jim. The gym is great at that game.
I want to take on Tim Kennedy. Anyway,
You might be taking him on.
yeah,
It's gonna end up.
yeah.
Somebody's really like.
He's not hunting for Hitler.
Somebody's
No.
He's
far
hunting
still
for
making
Hitler.
noise.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I was like, I wasn't, I was ready to fucking retire.
Nah.
I was ready to step away
We
from the
actually
sport
had a conversation
because it was
after the Diego fight. Jim and I actually had a conversation where it was like, it's.
I was ready.
It's time.
I was done.
It's time.
I was done. And it, like a little bit. It was a little bit before that, but it was like, I had decided, because I started to feel like shit. This is like fucking 2 years, and I'm sorry I farted. But
You could chew on
as
that
I
thing.
wafted, yeah.
Stuck in the middle by the Eagles. There's like a whole another.
It was even before that because
Yeah.
in whatever the fuck it was, 2015. I just felt like shit, and I was stressed out because I was still paying for the business, and I wasn't performing well, and I didn't really know why, and it was fucking hard to even get up, and I just decided I'm gonna say yes to everything. I was like, if somebody asked me to do something, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. And that's what it was. Honestly, that's what it was like. It's like, you're like, hey, you want to come out to wrestling? Yeah, let's fucking do it. Like, who the hell cares? Like, it was at that point where I was just trying to, like, okay, well, I.
Too bad Pat didn't know before that.
Yeah, I know. He's been asking and asking and asking for all
and
these
then
years.
he stopped,
And
and,
then he
you
stopped.
said, "I'm going to say yes to everything,"
Yeah.
and he didn't ask.
He didn't ask anymore.
That
All right, you gotta
sucks.
move out. I gotta piss.
All right.
But you
But-
keep telling that story.
Oh, come on!
But Stan, get over here.
Stan,
Stan,
Man,
Greg,
the man.
You gotta take my spot.
Greg.
Get Stan in there.
Let's
Somebody
get over
get
here.
in here.
I'm gonna put
Listen,
you on
we
camera
gotta keep
anyway.
the spot
Stan's on
warm.
camera anyway.
All right,
Stan's
so-
behind me.
And I mean,
Bo's gonna
that's
take my thing out.
Oh, whoa! You're
Easy.
moving all our gear.
but
Get
I
over
mean,
here.
Honestly,
Get in
that's-
there, Stan. Get in there, Stan.
That's
Come on.
Stan,
at least
Stan.
put the mic on. You don't have to
Come
come
on,
into
Stan.
my waft. Why did you slam
I
that? You're like
don't
dad.
know.
You're like
I
dad.
didn't- I didn't
If I
slam it down.
hot mic,
Yeah, that's what I did.
let's spike it on the
I
floor.
threw it down.
Um,
Slipped out of my hands.
that's what it was like. It was just like, all right, well,
I'm wearing my shoes in
Come
bed.
on in.
you know,
Get
It's
in
okay.
there,
It's my
Stan.
bed.
Who's his
yeah, get in here, get in
Is
here.
that
Oh
his
God,
phone?
Everyone wants to climb into my
Yeah.
bed.
That's where the
This where the
disappointment happens.
disappointment
This is
happens.
it.
Apparently,
Boy.
you fucking
Oh
son of a
yeah,
bitch.
this is Stan
Ah, it
from
fucking
A&W
stinks
Nature
over
Labs.
here.
It does stink over here.
Stan, this is the pinch point that
This
you're
is the
in
pinch
right
point.
now.
This is the pinch
I'm
Yeah.
point.
starting to feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
He's got a big head, man. No, like
But,
on top of
I
his
mean,
shoulders.
It's seriously. It's like I I became the yes man. I started saying yes to everything, and it's like
One time it's true because one time I asked Jim to do something that.
Dan, don't take it there. All right, like, but I've got like
That was a good story.
it was a good
It was
story.
really going.
Yeah.
He ruined it by having
He
to go to
did.
the
He
bathroom.
did.
I was really into it.
It was.
Dan brought it
I was
down
breaking-
together.
Come on,
I was,
man.
yeah, I was breaking down my walls,
No
And-
shit. Now it's all
and,
fucked up. I'm listening.
yeah,
Keep going.
and like
most of our
I've been
viewers are
bouncing off Jim's walls all weekend.
you are a sick son of a bitch. Yeah. So
checking
so-
those boxes.
yeah, check that box right there. But like, I mean, that's exactly like he asked me to come out to wrestling, and it was like, yeah, let's do it.
But let's
Like
add,
drive 14 hours out to fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Indiana, and
Yeah,
then another
fuck
4
yeah.
hours into Illinois.
Yeah, but was that even a hard yes? No. Even if you weren't at that point, it would have been hell yeah. we're
No,
going wrestling.
But
I'll say this.
Like,
And
listen, that was a cool experience.
it was a cool
It was,
experience.
but-
Most like, I guarantee you
I
that
said
that
yes.
that most of us. Well, that's because I said yes, and you're kind
Yeah,
of
that's why-
you're
yeah,
kind of a
that's why.
bandwagon.
Yeah,
no,
that's-
hey,
Yeah, that's
like
why.
we can get back to the funny in a second, but I'll say this: there was a moment where, and what Jim's saying, because Jim's being kind of
I'm trying to break down. I'm trying to
You
break
are.
down
Okay.
the emotional part of the handsome podcast.
So let me set the tone.
and now I have to pee.
So we all got drunk the night before, and we're driving, and then so we're all in different cars, but Jimmy and I are in the same car, and Jimmy and I are driving across to Illinois, and him and I he's sitting in the passenger seat, and everybody else is sleeping. We're talking, and I'm like, man, are you okay? You're like, I was trying to say, hey, you could bounce back and all that shit, and then he goes, nah, dude. He goes, I've never, I haven't ever told you this, but Lyme disease has been fucking kicking my ass, and I've been sick, and then he told me that, and I got pissed at first because I was like, you know what? If you had told me that when it happened, then I would have never encouraged you to fight, and I never would have done all this stuff. But it was him dealing with it, and he said, and then he distinctly said, he goes, but don't say anything. Don't put it in the articles. Like, I'll get through this fucking shit on my own. Just hang with me. Thanks for not saying, And I was just like, man, what a heavy thing. Like, this guy had not said anything, and I've been at the two of his fights between that, and I saw not the same Jim Miller that I've always seen, and it wasn't age, it wasn't whatever, it just something was different, And then he told me on this trip, that that's what he's dealing with. But the most important thing was he goes, don't say anything. And did I say anything?
no, you didn't.
No. And then you motherfucker, then
Then he went and told people.
yes, and then he wins this fight in Vegas. And then he goes to all the media, like this whole scrums around. It's like, oh yeah, and Duane Finley gave me Lyme disease.
gave me Lyme disease.
And that fucking I got 30 texts. Dude, you gave Jim Miller Lyme disease.
I didn't know it could happen that way, though.
I didn't know it was sexual transmission.
Ass to ass is not Lyme disease. But what I'm saying is, this is the toughest son of a bitch I know. And then him on the way to this, in just this little car ride, and this is the shit
In
like
the
you
toaster.
yeah, this is the shit you could put in a book, but you would never put in a book because that's your friend. But when your friend, who is a professional athlete and literally fights for his livelihood, leans over to you and says, "Hey, man, this is what I'm dealing with," but also at the same time says, "Don't say anything, just keep it between us." Then you keep that between you guys. But then you have to watch your friend fight, and then that's a different thing. I mean, so yes. Sparkle shoes, twinkle toes, whatever the fuck you call him. Like, that's the shit. Like, if you would have said, just in passing, oh, yeah, I'm struggling with this, then it's Jim Miller's Lyme disease, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that
Although, don't say
But
anything.
I knew. Listen, that was after our camping trip. That was after the deliverance jokes
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So I knew you wouldn't. We were.
Dude, you can only rate me twice
we were
before,
doing-
the first
Come
two are
on,
free.
come
First two
on.
are free.
Come on, come on. Like, yeah, we're dudes.
I
So
know.
I wasn't gonna,
I know,
But
but
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've always tried to be honest with in every interview. I'm gonna try to be honest because I think that the fans deserve it.
Sure, I believe it too.
But two, I'm not about to fucking just it's I've got too much invested in this shit to be playing around.
But see, like,
and making shit up.
But for instance, too, like all the shit Danny went through, right? So Dan's had a great career, but then all of a sudden when Danny started going through like the personal stuff with his life, and that's when they started swarming. Like, because then that's a big story. It's like, hey, like your dad told me, and it's because I cleared it with you guys both, as you know, before I put it in the article, and like that's some like real shit, like the stuff Mike told me. It's hardcore and real, but I never would have just ran out and done it without checking with these guys first.
Yeah.
But to know that, like the feeding tube story is crazy, but that's the kind of guy you are. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real deal. And if for people listening who don't know in the story, it's like Mike told me that because after we left camp out, went to your dad's house, and we showered, and while the other guys were showering and shit, I was talking to your dad, and he's like, you know what? He goes, how I knew the measure of my son was because when that was going on with your son, you guys were staying with your dad for a while, right?
Yeah.
And he said, Danny, he's like, I came out in the kitchen, and he said, Dan's putting a feeding tube down his own throat because he's like, I got to know what I'm doing to my son.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Dan's driving an hour to train, but he's crying the entire drive. And then he trains his ass off for 2 hours, and then he cries all the way back. It's like, you know what? These are the two, like, made of steel, bulletproof motherfuckers that people think. It's like, but this is human. This is the fucking human plight. This is the struggle, right?
Yeah.
And then if you fight, and then Jim told me too, because remember the cameras caught you guys. It was like the year after, like
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but like the cameras saw you guys crying together. Like, oh, like they thought like they had the wrong story.
They did. They did have the
it
wrong
was the
story.
wrong story.
And that's the thing. So that's my job, tell the right story. But people don't care. Like right now, all anybody cares about is Cody Garbrandt, and nothing against Cody, but that's the hot story, and then that'll be the hot story until the next pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
But how about a guy who's been doing it for fucking 12, 13 years, who has 24 fights in a fucking murderous division, right? That's you.
25 fights. That's not me.
No. Your last one was catchweight, so it doesn't count.
No, that's still 25 fights in the UFC.
Fights.
It's still.
Let me ask you that. Hey, let's get a little.
Technically it
let's
doesn't.
get a little
It doesn't
controversial.
count. It doesn't count.
Pat.
But it doesn't count.
So now I'm leading the show. That's how I do
All
it.
right. All right. No.
It's the Bo takeover.
No, this is supposed to be like the reverse roles.
Yeah.
No, but I like this
we're-
role. So let me ask you guys this:
Yeah.
as much as you guys are UFC, whatever, like how they did Mike Goldberg is fucked up.
Yeah.
How do you not give Goldie a send off at 207?
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, right?
No,
It's virtually identical.
It's virtually.
It's
ridiculous.
precise precision.
I'm sorry. That was ridiculous. Not
It's
having
definitely.
not having something for Goldie.
You know what they
The
did?
guy has been around forever.
Yeah.
You know what they did? They sent out and I'm not trying to
Fucking
put anybody on blast, but I'm gonna. But they sent out a DM on the low, and they said, "Hey,
Thanks, Mike.
yeah, no, they sent it to like media people, and they said, "Hey, we want to give Mike a proper send off. Could you tweet this picture of him and Joe and put hashtag Dream Team?" And I was like, "Holy shit! You had a pay-per-view with Ronda Rousey where you probably which was proven they had over 1 million buys.
Yeah, no, they killed it.
You're right. Send them out that way, but instead you're gonna send it to individual Twitter accounts. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's ridiculous.
It's unfortunate, because like Mike, he's always been super professional and cool to us. Like we've had conversations, we've fucking drank beers together and bullshitted and he's been in it since practically the fucking beginning.
yes.
Before
Before Rogan.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it sucks.
That's awesome.
It sucks that he didn't. I would have liked to see him get a proper send off.
At least a send off.
Yeah.
A short video of
What would it have taken?
Yeah, I mean, they did it for other fighters. They've
You
done
know,
it for a
what
bunch of people.
what would
no
a
reason
fucking
Goldie
video
could've done something. The guy's a fucking legend.
What the fuck are you guys doing over there?
Never mind.
Don't worry
Pat and
about
I are fucking plotting. We're taking this over. Dude, I don't know if you're paying this motherfucker enough, but he's got a good. He's got it going on good. He's got like 4 camera angles. You guys.
Do we
look like-
have any comments?
You guys look like a Mormon rape situation, like a Mormon hostage video.
Yeah, and Stan
Help.
won't talk.
Help.
Help.
This is a dangerous situation
Yeah.
I'm in right
Stan.
now. Between 2 tigers
Hey,
here.
hey, look at that video.
Not
It's
trying
like,
to move.
this is the danger of swiping left or answering anything on Craigslist.
Just
Shit,
two
yeah.
dudes.
Oh, Bo in the house.
Just 2 dudes looking for a good time.
2 dudes looking for a rough trail. I brought him snacks. That's what you're getting.
Roast beef.
Charcuterie. Yes. So, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I like your guys' format. I like that you're doing this. This is fucking amazing because now everybody gets to see. Like, let me ask you. I know everybody in this room, but dude, the Ultimate Warrior video. Hey, hold on.
You know what sucks about that is the audio
Nothing.
sucked dick.
Nothing. Listen. First off, it blew up. It was huge,
and in
right?
a bad way. In a bad way.
But
'Cause usually it's a good way.
No. Like, let me tell
It's only-
everybody. I knew he was gonna do something, but nothing like that. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, hey Jamie, I'm coming through. I'm gonna do my my ass bow, whatever, from your place. Like, yeah, cool, because we were together the night before, and so he comes in and we're at the gym setting up, and I'm trying to do like this over the shoulder thing. And he's like, all right, just give me like 5 minutes. And like we thought, because you just did the Macho Man Takanori Gomi, so we were trying to get like that, the Mountain Man back on camera, right? So that's
Little
what
did you know.
that's what I think that's showing up. This motherfucker comes to the door. I'm a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, but you can watch the video. Like I had to like I almost shit myself. Like I had to hold it together because he's in the back. And dude, because that was a bet, right?
It was a bet.
The bet
yeah.
was who could break first.
Yeah.
And I thought I was preparing for the Mountain Man, but he's like, ooh, Lozon. I was like, holy shit. and my wife, after the whole thing, because my wife was filming it, she's like, where did he get those Speedos?
Dude, yeah, no. Yeah, pass. Pat gave me the hookup on the Speedo shop.
So I swam in college, and I have a huge, like a wealth of Speedo knowledge. I have.
Where you going, Stan?
We have to have somebody in between us.
Yeah, don't go, Stan.
Don't
Come
go.
here,
Right
Greg.
there.
Hey, made me
Please
go back.
Don't go.
You made me
Yeah.
go back.
Don't
Bo's
go.
got to come back.
Please
Oh, wait.
All right, Bo's come back.
Yeah, Bo's come
Does this
back.
one reach?
It should, yeah. Just carefully.
Make sure you don't
carefully
knock over
negotiate
the
it over there.
glasses.
So I was at
Back on.
I was at work one day, and Jim texts me. He's like, "Hey Pat, where can I get a Speedo?" So as a good friend, I was like, "Well, what do you need?" Because I have a camo Speedo, I have an American flag Speedo. Like I got you covered. And he wanted it was lime green, right?
No. I wanted I was like, I need just something neon and the brightest thing you got.
So luckily, I knew of the best
The little
Speedo shop
shop?
in Denville.
Yep.
I gave Jim the hookup. He's
I
like,
got some weird
what
looks.
size? What size am I? I was like, I don't know. Fucking try it on. And I think you claimed duck butter was the reason that you could not try it on. But you
was-
nailed it. That was
I did.
It was pretty nice.
It was good.
There was
Lean in, Daniel.
I can't
Lean
leave
in,
this.
Daniel.
going on over here.
Hey,
We're taking a
Dude,
picture
who
of
just farted? That's
That was Dan.
That was me.
Jesus. No, this isn't a picture. This
Oh,
is
it's
like
a video.
that's
We're going
Facebook
live.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going
shit.
live? I can't sit like this because
Yeah.
I'm looking at that camera.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
Come on,
letting him
Duane.
see it.
We're on
T-Wayne.
one.
Dude.
He's trying to steal our viewers
He's
away.
taking your
Yeah.
thunder.
I'm not trying to steal your viewers away.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
saying that we're sitting here riding shotgun, and whoever just farted.
That
Dan,
was
Dan
me.
farted.
Sorry.
Jesus, man.
You got to build up a tolerance
But-
to that. It takes
Yeah.
years.
Come
No.
on, Duane.
I know I stand left.
Yeah. But like
Hey,
that.
Johnny Daz is come on up to the JW.
There you go.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
No, you met
He's
him last
invited.
night. That's my dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
You're a douche.
I was drunk.
Dude, we think we're in a helicopter.
I was we were at a private party last night. It's pretty legit.
Yeti.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good, buddy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
still got one.
But yeah, it was like I don't even know what I was going to talk about. What was I going to talk about?
Who cares?
I'm on the Johnny Hendricks weight cut challenge.
There you go.
How's that going for you?
It's going great, dude. I'm
Good,
10
good.
pounds
Those
down.
little lights are they're hitting the spot.
They're light.
They're light.
They're light.
It's like
God.
eating Whataburger, but not eating the fries.
You know,
Hendrix classic.
sometimes there's times when you just take your foot and you shove it in your mouth, and there's other times where you take your foot and you shove it up your ass. You know,
Yes.
it's like, what the hell? What the hell?
What?
I eat Whataburger and I don't eat the fry. Come on.
And then I miss weight.
Come on.
Yes.
They.
Look at this guy. Not allowed. Not allowed within a 500 feet of a school anywhere.
Yeah.
Nope.
School. Uber.
Uber.
I'm not allowed to drive or allowed to ride. In
When
Ubers.
we took an Uber from the airport, they
You're,
had to cover his face.
Yes.
They patted him down.
You're on the
they
list.
breathalyzed him.
He's on the list.
You're on the list. You're on the list.
So, like, I don't even know where we're going.
I got a question for
Yeah,
you, Wayne,
question.
if we got it.
Yeah, hit me.
Wasn't it? So,
Debo.
so you were saying like you
Both
told
Divas.
you know Jim told you some deep stuff and you kind of
Sure.
told their stories. And not that I want you to tell any fighter stories, but as a real fan, sometimes I hate the flashiness of it and the WWE of it. Like, how many real stories are out there that we're completely that us the real fans are completely missing?
Well, I'll
How
tell
many
you.
fighters are on the UFC contract
Yeah.
True. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you read my stuff,
or Bellator contract?
if you read my
For that
stuff,
matter.
that's the only stuff I do.
Yeah.
Like, I won't do any of the other bullshit. I won't do like a press release. Like you will never see me write anything about Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, all I do is stuff like this stuff.
Real
You know?
shit.
Real shit.
How can we read your stuff?
Flow Combat.
Flow
Or at Duane Finley
Combat.com.
MMA.
At Duane Finley MMA.
I honestly, I think that a lot of the issue is that, you know, I had an epiphany in my pants when he came out.
Twice.
Twice.
You know, no, it was like I said, it was that moment. Like we went and yeah, okay, we knew we were going to take this guy camping and it was going to be fun and all that stuff, but I didn't think it was going to lead into that. And then all of a sudden you read the story and it's like, holy shit. Like, this is raw Miller. Like, this is actually us. This is actually the guys that are going to goof around and make stupid jokes on a podcast and make stupid jokes here and there, or, you know,
But
bust
you're
balls.
like, holy shit, that guy's a hell of a writer.
Well, that too. That too. Here's a cunning linguist. And,
Hey, Ricky!
You know, and not everybody's had that opportunity. I think if the other fighters just came out of their shell, and the problem is that fighting is
It's about as raw as you can get.
Well, it's raw, but it's very egotistical.
Well, of course
Yeah.
it is.
It's like
but
you
two
put
guys going to
you
a
put on this
cage,
front. You put on a
Yeah.
front of
you need
like
to be tough.
I've got to put on this front that I'm this hard fucking badass. It's like, you know what, man? I fucking joke around and bullshit and, you know,
Yeah,
and
but
play with
it's
my
not-
kids and fucking
Yeah,
and
but it's not like you didn't do it.
and cry on Christmas because like I had two Christmases that were not as easy as they I would have liked to have them to have been, and it was awesome to fucking have my kids have a good Christmas. Like, it was, you know, I don't. You have to in fighting. You have to be the tough guy. You have to put on that you know, a masquerade as the tough guy or tough girl. But it is raw, and the problem is that
When have you done an interview that has asked you that?
nobody.
So I've done fucking
Dwanger.
interviews- Yeah, well, that's the point.
Hey,
Is we've never done interviews where it's been like
Well,
it asked you you know, going through the shit that I went through.
listen.
I've been asked the hard questions, but it's never been personal. It's never been. It's been just about fighting and training. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
people care about. or that's all the at least the.
Well,
the,
they want
the
you.
writers
They want
care
you to
about.
say the fucking, you know, first of all they want you to say something that's going to be they can pull out and make a headline that's clickbait.
Yeah, of course.
But then they also want you to just say the cliche shit. That's like.
Yeah, of course. But that's my point. Is I've never had an interview like doing an interview with Duane.
Well,
Whereas-
because
Because you've had
There
your
are
clothes
multiple-
on with
there are
all the other
multiple
interviews.
reasons.
Or
Hey,
Is the
hey,
camera on?
my wife just joined this chat, and she's like, this ain't the first time he's been in bed with two men.
No,
No, it's not.
won't be the last.
It won't be
Yeah.
last.
No,
Yeah.
So sorry.
Relax, Renee.
not if he's friends with us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. But yeah, like you're
Relax.
saying, like,
No, but that's my point. Is we've never. When have you been in a situation where you've told the real story, Jim? Seriously,
Well,
the real
because
story.
I put on the front as well. I did. Because I've been asked the question, and then you give the same fucking cliche shit.
But whoever prints that shit, nobody. Even
Well-
if you give the real answer, it doesn't get printed because that's not the shit
I've
they're
had
looking
plenty.
for.
I've had plenty of times where I said something and somebody
Well,
then kind of manipulated it.
exactly manipulates it.
I've
That's
heard
not the
about the
real
camping trip.
fucking. That's not the
You
real
did hear
answer.
about the camping trip,
she knows.
Renee, and you know that's why he's here, and he's
the
not
real-
home with you.
The camping trip that Jim slept on a fucking what?
Yeah,
A blow-up
yeah.
mattress.
Go on.
He slept on
Whoa.
a blow-up mattress like a little bitch.
Whoa.
man.
While
So,
Dwayne,
yes.
Cut.
while Dwayne and I
Cut.
cut. Yeah, what? Because you're not looking like a tough guy.
Cut.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's tell it the way the real.
Let's tell it the
let's
way-
tell the real story, Jim.
all right.
The
I had
real
a.
story.
I had a.
Yeah. Tell it,
Excuse me.
Jimmy.
Come
I
on.
had
Dwayne and I
a-
slept on the ground.
On
A
the fucking
poncho.
On
ground.
the fucking ground. Cuddling.
That's
like,
that's what
For
I
our
had.
lives.
I didn't
For
have
our
a
lives.
sleeping bag.
No. But you slept
I didn't
on
have a sleeping bag,
blow-up
but
fucking-
I did bring a
A blow-up mattress.
Not a
It was
blow-up
blow-up
mattress.
pad.
a self-inflating pad.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Dwayne
even
and
worse.
I'm
That's
sorry.
even
Dwayne
worse.
and
You
I-
didn't have to blow it
Yeah.
up yourself. It's self-inflated.
self-inflated.
Yeah.
Cap-
Come on.
Captain Ruffett,
You know what?
Jim
I'm
Miller.
the princess.
No.
Me
I'm the,
and this
I'm the princess and the
motherfucker
pea.
Slept on the ground.
You know what?
Slept on the ground like
Because
we're
I'm
fucking real
sorry,
men.
I'm
Cocoons.
sorry,
Real
I'm
men.
sorry, Dan Miller, but I've had, you know,
Dan Miller.
I've had
Oh,
some
wait.
injuries. to my neck.
Have you had injuries to your neck? Yeah, I know.
Not from.
Oh, too
not
bad for
like-
Jim Miller, right?
Cut that camera.
It
Cut
was
that
the mixed
camera.
It
Dan
was a
cannot
little
relate
Cut
to
that
that.
camera.
I was
I
for
can never
sure-
relate to
Pat.
an injury to the
What?
neck.
Cut that camera.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I'm in full cocoon mode because I realize that
Please.
bears are real. Like the
You
like,
want you put it on me?
like there's bears up in
All
these
right.
woods.
Jim
and-
Miller's doing some
I'm
weird
hugging
shit,
next
so
to
now
him.
I'm
Yeah.
on camera.
And
Is your
now-
cut?
I'm sorry, I don't have a strong
and-
enough neck.
Hey, we work ourselves out differently, Jim. You know?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. You're on.
Hey, you're an asshole because he never switched it.
I did. I promise you. I switched
Yeah.
it. Our viewers at
You didn't
home.
switch it.
can-
You see the size of those forearms?
If he
I
did,
did.
if he didn't switch
just
it, we
because
just lost.
just
You
because
know,
I
we're
work on my
we're
neck,
screwed,
I
and we're never
going to
get a
neck.
sponsor ever.
I
Not
switched
because
it. It was
Jim's a
switched.
fucking pussy that sleeps on a fucking blow-up mattress. That complains about his neck. A blow-up mattress for your neck, you little bitch?
Oh,
Really?
Hey, no,
In
whoa,
my
whoa,
back.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
My back.
Really?
Hey,
Your
hey,
back. There,
Three co-
that I get.
3 compression fractures.
Fucking bitch.
I'm shorter than I started out.
little bitch.
Jim Miller, listed at 5'9", it's 5'7".
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 5'8" is like a gimme. They just don't want to measure me again.
So yes, but that's true. You did sleep
He
on
did
that.
sleep on a fucking
I did
blow-up-
sleep on it.
a self-inflating
A
mattress.
self-inflating mattress.
Because
Sure.
he didn't
But
wanna
all I
blow it
had
up
was
himself.
a serape, an
Well,
insulated,
Dwayne
like a,
and
like
I
a whoopee.
slept on the fucking
A
hard
whoopee.
We
ground.
did.
Right?
We did.
On
We
the
s-
hard ground.
in like
Dwayne
0-degree sleeping
Dwayne,
bags.
Dwayne did cocooning.
I did the full
In
cocoon.
0-degree sleeping
I did.
bags.
0 degree. I got mine from Walmart, you fucking asshole. Yeah, it was listed as 0 degrees.
Listen,
but it was
Walmart
not zero.
sells
Zero
quality-
Walmart degrees.
Yes.
That's like
Walmart-
65
Yeah.
American degrees.
I
Walmart
was
sells
fucking
quality
freezing.
products
fucking thing.
at an affordable price.
Dwayne was cocooning.
I
it,
went
like,
all the way
and they
in.
very
all the way
well
inside.
might sponsor this
Because he was
podcast
like, you know
one
what?
day.
If a bear can't figure out how to get into a sleeping
Right.
bag,
Then fuck him.
then he's fucking. he
Then
can't
I'm
get it.
okay.
Fuck
So,
that bear.
but like I did. I snuggled
Yeah, the
up right
Twinks,
next
I'll
to
take
you,
those every day.
like right next to you, and
Yeah, he did.
and I thought the bear thing was a joke, and then I saw these guys like hanging shit up in trees, and I'm like,
Yeah. No,
oh,
it's
this
not
is
a
real.
joke.
This is real.
There are bears around.
I know, and
They're
then when
just not going to come and get us.
no, but when Jimmy jumped out and scared me, like I haven't shit my pants since the third grade. And I had a
story.
I had a flu. And then he jumped out and scared me, and I pooped.
I'm going to tell a story right now about shitting pants.
Oh yeah, do it.
This is my favorite story to tell. So we went out one night, and we went to this bar that's kind of by us, and the owner of the bar is he like is a distributor for seafood and beef and stuff like that. So
Quit farting, man.
So
Dude, your brother's killing me.
he is. He's horrible. He can fart and he smells. Smell and fart.
Jesus.
He's
so-
a magician.
Like I'm like
It's
hanging.
an artist.
That's
you know what a
mutant
mutant
power.
is?
You know what mutant powers? Yeah.
I have that. I have
Yeah.
mutant power.
So
Beef
anyway,
The
smells-
So
beef
anyway,
wind.
we went out to this bar, and our one of our jiu-jitsu instructors played in a band.
Great man.
The Bird Band, John Finn, and he actually married me and my wife.
You're in a band with John Fitch?
Finn.
Oh.
Finn. He was like a professional snowboarder. He died once.
Yeah.
He was like flatlined for a while.
7 minutes.
Yeah. Really amazing man, and really good jiu-jitsu guy.
Fantastic, dude.
And he also was an internet pastor
Yeah.
or whatever. So he married me and my wife. It was pretty awesome. Played the guitar as we walked up. So yeah, that was awesome. So we went out and we were drinking.
Jesus.
Holy shit!
Jesus.
I heard that on the headphones.
I
fucking
felt that
guy,
in my
man.
soul.
Hey, Pat, dude,
Oh,
seriously.
God.
This is I'm fucking
Yeah.
dying, man.
So
I am
anyway.
dying. What is wrong with you? Like she's a doctor. That's Glow's sister. She can help you with that. Jesus,
So
man.
I'm trying to break things down here, bro.
Aren't you,
I'm breaking
aren't
them
you
down
glad
again.
you're between us?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm fucking
So-
I'm angry now.
So we go out and
Like that
we're
part was
drinking, and you
so
can get
bad
like
I'm emotional.
you could get like a steak. Will you guys stop it?
Dude.
I'm trying to tell a story.
Your brother is the worst.
He is no, he's not the worst.
Dwayne, I've built up a tolerance, so if you
I don't-
pass out, I can come
I
get
don't have that tolerance.
you. No, you need
I'm
years.
trying to build it.
I've been
for
building
you.
it since 8th
This
grade.
I'm helping you
this
out.
fucker is bombing me, and I can't tell if it's ketchup or it's salami.
Yeah,
It's definitely
it kind of smelled like ketchup. It kind of smelled like
He
ketchup.
ate some ketchup earlier and
Oh,
spilled
Jesus.
some
I
on the way
smelled
up.
ketchup.
So
Mutant's
we
power.
go out, and like it's like, oh well, I'm gonna get the steak and 2 dozen clams.
That was the worst.
Yeah, you
idea
got some
ever.
clams?
Worst decision
Oh
ever.
fuck.
Worst
That was
decision ever.
bad.
So we're obviously sucking down beers and then like
The
we-
hopfish.
yeah, we were
What
drinking
else?
Delicious
What,
beer.
what else you sucking, Jim?
No,
beer.
no, he was in the woods for like
No,
20 minutes.
No.
Swear to God,
I'm
he was in
telling the
woods for-
story.
Yeah, because you don't
Let
want
me-
people to
No,
know.
let me tell the story. Listen. I was wearing my tightest jeans that I had ever purchased. Like you could see.
Picking up fucking dudes. Like,
Doing the George Michaels.
You know what? I was.
Carelessly whispering.
carelessly.
I was.
Right.
I don't know if I was. I wasn't married yet, but I was.
No, you weren't married.
I was.
You were
you were-
I was
experimenting.
living with my wife now, so we
A
were.
guy can build 1,000
were just dating.
bridges
We
and
were
suck
just.
one
We were
dick.
just dating.
And they don't call that man a bridge builder. What do they call him?
Stop it.
Jim
Stop
fucking
it.
Miller.
Stop it.
Jim fucking Miller.
Yes.
Tell the story. Come on, just go.
So
Don't be a bitch.
no,
Just go.
no. Listen. So
Yeah,
so I
Can't do it. He's flustered.
we're
He's flustered.
at
It's
one
just
point,
balls
all
flying
of a
in my
sudden,
face.
our
Yeah.
buddy, our jiu-jitsu instructor, he drank Wild Turkey 101. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah, he gave
It
us
was
like
bad.
2 shots of that, or he gave me 2 shots of that.
No, but both of us.
And next thing
We
you know,
both got
it's like
fucked up.
I come out of the bathroom. I went to take a leak, and I come out of the bathroom, and it's like, holy fuck, I'm drunk. I'm gonna dance. You know, like, and it's like last call. We're leaving, and then it's like, oh god, I'm gonna puke, and I run into the woods, and I hear somebody like, oh hey, you're Dan Miller, and this was right after he won the IFL title.
Yeah.
And I hear, oh, you're Dan Miller, you know, you just won the IFL champ. And I'm sitting there yakking in the woods, and I'm like, Dan Miller's a pussy. Blah. I'm a tree, and I know that. Blah. You know, and I'm fucking like, I'm losing it, and I finally come out of there. I'm like, yeah, I heard some tree yelling at you guys. You know, like
Tree called Danny a pussy.
I'm gonna go kick that tree's ass. So, so like we leave, and it was
awesome.
It was
because
awesome
he
because
stopped.
no,
we
let me
passed
tell
the
it.
truck.
No, let me tell the story.
Let me
'cause
tell
You
the
don't
story.
know
So-
from my.
So it was
My tree.
it was myself and my wife now and our sister, and then Dan and his wife
Yeah.
and our buddy Deez were in the other car, and
D's nuts.
Pretty
Deez
much,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He just broke. Apparently, he just broke his
broke
leg.
his leg.
He didn't tell
Yeah,
anybody.
he broke D's legs.
Yeah, broke his legs. Probably being stupid. He didn't tell anybody.
It's crazy
So,
son of a bitch.
You're an asshole. So we leave, and it feels like every
I was
2 miles
cracking
we
up.
were pulling
Hysterical.
over
I was
puke.
leaning out the window laughing because he's fucking. They had to pull over and he gets out. And
I
he's
can't believe I'm
yakking
going to tell the story.
all over the fucking floor, all over the ground, and I'm like laughing hysterically
As they go by.
And then I turn to my buddy. I'm like, I'm probably gonna throw up. After this.
So seriously, it's every maybe mile that we pull over and puke, or I puke, and we get to my parents' house, and my sister gets out, and there's a party going on across the street and stuff like that, and all of a sudden I I lean out and I puke, and all of a sudden it's like in my gut, and it's like as I'm like it's like whoop, and I'm like, oh my god, fucking. I just I gotta go, and I rip out of the car, and I'm not very proud of this, but I pooped myself.
So you puked and shit at
I
the same
puked
time.
and shit at the same time.
Jim had
And
the full evacuation.
yeah, and my parents, you were there. You know, they're
Yeah.
on that hill.
Ted, you were there.
They're on that hill. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's
So it's 30.
like 35
you know,
steps
it's
up to the
30-something
top.
steps. It's a decent.
Yeah,
climb.
that's a steep one.
Yeah.
and I'm drunk as hell. And it's I'd go up 2 steps, back 3 steps, up 2 steps, back, and
Look
it's
at those emojis.
yeah, and it's and all the while, poop is coming out of my butt. So it's I get to there's a landing. It's 2 steps, 3 steps, 2 steps, and I get to, and it's 6 steps up to the top, and it's oh my god! And I went up it, and I back down, and I'm sitting there, and I'm yelling at myself. I'm like, Jim, get the fuck up these stairs, and there's people across the street. They probably could
They're
hear
like,
me.
go, Jim!
Yeah,
go!
go, Jim. Do it. Get
You
up the
can
stairs,
do it, Jim.
Meanwhile, my underwear is filling up with deuce. and I yelled at myself. I slapped myself in the face once or twice. And I made it up there on my 3rd try. Got up there and get to the bathroom and boom. And next thing you know, pop, 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 knock on the door. Are you okay? No, you need to go.
My son has Ebola. And this is why you come with old Bo
Yeah.
doing Duane stuff, not MMA Junkie
That's right.
or Twinkle Toes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Where else are you
Yeah.
going to hear this? Where else
Yeah,
you gonna hear
Jim
this?
Miller shits himself on the 3rd
So-
try.
He's not the only one who got it too.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're saying it was contagious.
No,
It was the clams. It was the clams. It wasn't my fault.
I'm laughing hysterically at Jim because he's throwing up, and I'm like, "Fucking, I'm gonna throw up later." So we get home. My wife and I had just bought our house. We're getting in, and I'm fucking drunk as shit. She's mad at me.
She's mad at you right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
always mad at me. I always
It's
do
the
stupid
constant
shit.
disappointment that
Yeah.
ends up on this bed.
Not this bed particularly.
Jesus.
Sorry.
You're so fucked.
So anyway, we get home and I'm still laughing about Jim throwing up, and I'm like,
Karma.
oh fuck, I gotta throw up, and I run into the bathroom and I fucking start throwing up, and I start I gotta shit, so I start shitting, I turn around real quick, and luckily the bathroom that we had, my fucking toilet was literally right next to our tub, It was like literally, I'm shitting.
You
and I'm-
shit in the tub?
No, I shitting in the toilet and I'm throwing up in the tub. And then this was going on for like a good half hour, and I was crying. I was literally crying. I don't want to do this. And blah, blah, like, and my wife was like, "You are such an asshole. You were crying." Like literally crying, tears coming out of your eyes because you were like, I don't want to do this anymore. Just throwing up, shitting everywhere. My dog like was coming and it was like licking my face because I was like, crying everywhere.
We're breaking down walls.
I was
This 19th episode, we're breaking down walls.
Mess. A mess.
Yes.
You know what?
It just took old Bo. It just took old
Took
Bo.
old Bo. He breaks down those walls.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I had to stay at my parents that night, and I didn't know any of this was going on.
Whoa.
So
We kept that private.
we kept it private for a little bit.
Not so private now.
Nope. So what ended up, my wife ended up leaving and
Like for good?
no, not for good.
Oh,
So-
Jesus.
So
Jesus.
so
That was a close one.
I got a little bit left.
You waiting? You need one?
Yeah.
So no, look at that, hands of steam. Well, I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Hands
got
of
hands of
steel.
steel.
Hands of steel.
Anyway,
You throw a
I'm
fucking
drunk.
Miller Lite, I'm going
I'm
to catch
drunk.
it.
So she, my wife ended up leaving.
You throw a
and,
dick, this guy's catching
and
it.
like,
That guy.
whoa.
Different places, but
All
we'll
right.
catch them.
So I like.
Look, Ma, no hands.
This is the best. This is the best podcast ever.
Oh shit.
You fuckers are crazy.
So-
You're crazy, Jim Miller.
Yeah, you won't see this on the Greasy Bowman.
No, we are the greasy bone.
Yeah. So I obviously I shimmy out of my skibbies.
Ultimate Miller with an
Obviously.
eggplant.
Pass out in the in the guest room, and I wake up and I take my underwear and I throw them in the garbage can,
Sorry, that was right in your
and I was too drunk to do anything with them at that point.
You're an asshole.
So
Sorry.
Just
I
threw a
pass
beer in
out.
my suitcase.
yeah, so I
I have to pee so bad. Sorry.
You pee
Go
once.
pee.
Thanks, Dan. I'm about to talk about Hank.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Sorry.
So I pass
Rest-
out.
Hold on.
So I pass out and or wake up the next morning with.
First of all, hold on.
with,
We gotta pour a little home out.
All right, yeah, pour some out for the homie. So.
Can I put my pants back on?
You can't put your
No,
pants
no,
back
no,
on.
no, yeah.
So I wake up to my parents' dog Hank licking my face, and he was a kisser, and awesome dog, and
Rest in peace.
rest in peace because he actually this morning he had to be
Yeah.
put down. So he
Great
ended up,
dog.
He ended up having cancer and he pooped
Father of
father
our
of our dogs and great dog. He pooped in a hat once.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. While hunting.
He gets some bad clamps
No,
too?
seriously.
No, it was great.
We
Don't get diverted yet. We
no,
can tell
hold
the
on.
poop.
We gotta tell the story real
we
quick.
can,
'cause
no,
you
we
said
can tell it. We can tell it
No,
afterwards.
right now.
Let me tell it.
Right now.
So anyway, so
Dan,
Hank's
I
licking
can,
my
I can
face.
turn Jim down if you want to
No,
tell the
stop.
story.
No, Pat,
Yeah.
stop. No, let me tell the rest of the story.
So.
So
So.
so Hank's licking my face, and I wake up and
gotta tell the hat
I
story.
go. You can tell the story after this.
Yeah, I have to pee.
So you can tell after you pee.
What?
Go pee.
No,
Pee.
right now.
You're a
So-
goddamn grown man.
Damn
No, I want to do it now.
So we I get up and all that stuff, and then it's like I go into the bathroom, I take a leak, and it's like, wait a second, where are my underwear? And I threw them in this garbage, and I go back in into the bedroom, and then I start throwing some clothes on, and my mom's like, yeah, Hank took the underwear out of here and was eating them. God damn it.
Thank God.
So then I had to drive back to our house, and my mom gave me these pair of sweatpants where all the elastic was blown out. and I'm wearing cowboy boots and a button-up shirt
And a football helmet.
and this pair of like maroon sweatpants, and
Women's sweatpants.
no, they weren't. Well, I mean, technically they were. 'Cause
They were.
They were Virginia Tech softball sweatpants. And I'm sitting there, and my old house was like 3 feet off the road.
They were not. Well, technically,
Yeah,
they
technically
were.
they were.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Virginia
They were
Tech women's
mine.
softball.
They were not
They
women's
were
pants.
mine
Well,
at
they were
first, so they were
That was
mine.
an about face.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
Women's
sitting there, so I'm
softball.
sitting there in a button-up, a pearl button shirt, sweatpants, and cowboy boots, knocking on the door, and my wife won't come to the door. Fuck. So finally, she came to the door, and or I went around back and banged
Let
the
him
door
in.
back there, and but yeah, that's one of the better moments I have, Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But you could tell the poop story.
Yeah,
the
so
hat story.
the pooping in the hat.
Because I'm gonna go to
story,
the bathroom.
He
not
Wh-
Mike.
when he was a puppy, he was a hunting dog. He was an English pointer. Brought him bird hunting, and the fields that we were hunting in were actually they weren't mowing them down, so they were high. So this poor dog.
Like,
is,
I like
running
Pat.
through- Yeah, high like Pat, and
Higher.
they were higher, probably
if you
higher.
can imagine that.
Yeah, so he's running through his fields. He's only like, I would say like 6 months old, little puppy, and he still had his nuts in. His fucking poor little nuts were like they were like cherries. They were so red, and I felt so bad for the guy because he's running through these prickers and this field. And his
Yeah,
poor
cherry
nuts.
nuts?
Yeah, his nuts were fucking like cherry red. So it was like I felt we felt bad for him. So it was like I was wearing a Carhartt hat at the time. So
Hey,
it was-
Carhartt, if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah,
we've had a dog poop in your hat.
yeah. Great hats. Just
They're great
dogs
for
love
dogs
to poop
pooping.
in them. Apparently.
Here you go, Duane.
Ouch! God damn it.
Yeah. So we.
What was
So
your
I
mic?
was like, you know what?
Those are my keys.
So
I know.
we put. I cut a hole in the top of the hat, and I put it on the dog, so that keep his nuts warm and not chafing.
It was
so
kind
that
of.
so
It
they
was a
didn't
little bit
chafe.
stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. So they didn't
Yes.
chafe. But literally, we put it on the dog, and 2 minutes later, he shit. He took a shit right in the hat. It was like, come on, dude, really? But-
Pattied up.
Yeah, right up. It was just like, he's like, we come walking up, and he's just fucking hunched over, shitting in the hat. Son of a bitch.
Yep, see? Shitting in hats.
It's exactly what we
Bad
would've done.
clams.
Yeah.
Dwanger finger banger. Hey, okay, so since everybody else has embarrassed themselves, I'll tell this story because it's like oh, my phone died. We're good.
Oh, your phone died.
Good.
There's two type of people in this world, right? People that admit they shit their pants
Yeah.
and people that lie about it.
Yeah.
Anybody that says that they have
They
never
haven't? No.
shit their pants
They're
as an
lying.
adult is a liar.
They're lying.
I-
Because they definitely did as a kid, and they probably haven't as adult.
There is a man running around Montclair, New Jersey right now telling the story about when I shit my pants. He's a complete stranger. So we were on the swim team, and the swim team would go out for half-price appetizers to Chili's. And my wife now was not my wife at the time. I was trying to impress her. We went out for a half-price
See,
appetizers.
these women, they're silly because after we poop our pants, they still marry us.
They do.
Yep.
They do.
Yep.
Well, my wife never knew about it though, so I was hammering down half-price appetizers, and I drove her back to campus. I did not live on campus because we were broke, and I dropped her off at her dorm. And on the ride back, I felt some odd bubbling, and I knew there was going to be trouble, but I couldn't go inside the dorm because if I walked in with her, it would be weird. And I couldn't ask her to use her bathroom because I knew it was like trouble. So.
Yeah.
So I dropped her off, and I was like, here we go. I'm just going to fucking beat feet home. We lived in Sparta at the time. It was about 45 minutes. So I drop her off at MSU, Montclair State University. I'm driving as fast as I can, and I don't even make it to Route 46, which is about 5 miles
Yeah.
away. I'm like, I'm going to shit my pants. So I pull into the Exxon, and I jump out. I run right to the bathroom on the side, and I bust open the door. Everything's good, and there's no toilet paper. So it's like a mini mart. So I close the door, I run back into the mini mart, and there's like a 3-person line, and I wait on the line for about a quarter second, and I know I'm not going to make it. So from the back of the line, I yell, "There's no toilet paper in the bathroom!" Everybody turns around, and the guy's like, "Dude, there's toilet paper right there. Just grab some." All right, so we just got enough time. So I scoop up the entire thing of like six rolls. I run around to the bathroom.
Luckily, the camera's not.
And I open the door, and there's a guy using the bathroom. And he's like, "Oh, I'm in here." So I close the door, and I got my toilet paper in one hand, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And I hear him start washing his hands as I start losing control. So I bust open the door, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm in here." And I throw the toilet paper in the corner, and the sink is almost touching the urinal. And I get like into the toilet. The sink is right next to it, and I pull my pants down, but I don't quite make it. So I shit my pants, and then as my pants clear my asshole, I shit the back of the wall. I shit the flusher, and then as I sit down, I fucking blow up the toilet, and just like pure relief. And the guy's washing his hands in the sink next to me, close enough to touch, and he looks at me and he goes, "You are fucking disgusting," just with like venom dripping from his mouth, and he walked out.
It wasn't your fault.
No, it was not. I had to.
Hey, Pat, you're not alone. You're in a safe place.
So you will admit that you shit your pants too.
Oh, hell yeah! And I have a similar.
Here we go, Dwayne.
This is where we're going.
Everybody who shit their pants.
I have a similar story.
This is where the
You
handsome
are
podcast
not
goes.
alone.
Yes, it gets better. That's like a great thing.
Yeah.
But so I was stuck in because traffic up here, traffic gets bad. Like down here around the city, it's not so bad. But when you get up in the suburbs, because Indy's a shitty place to live, the suburbs are nice. So everybody lives up in the suburbs and drives down here. So I remember it was funny because it was almost ironic because I stopped that morning at this Shell station that's by my house, and I was like, "Oh shit." I only had like $3 on me, but I needed gas to get down here to work. And this is before I was in the MMA world. And I didn't have it. So I was like, "Dude, I'm here every morning buying coffee or whatever. Just let me come back. I'll hit you for the $10 when I come back through." And this guy wouldn't do it. Like, I'm like, "Dude, I've been here for 3 years every day. You see me every morning, but you won't give me just let me run this $10 to get to work?" And he wouldn't. So then I went down there, and on the way back home, I got the bubble guts. Now, how Finley works, Oboe works like this. There's a 5-alarm system, right? Tried and true 5-alarm system. Okay, so the first alarm was like, okay, you know what? I got the. I'm gonna have to poop sometime. Second alarm, you're like, okay, this is escalating. Third alarm's like, whoa, right?
Yep.
You start plotting timelines, time frames, things I gotta do. 4 alarm is like, holy shit, something's happening.
Yeah.
And 5 alarm is like,
shit, it's happening.
yes, 5 when a
It's
5
coming out.
when
It's
a-
coming out. It's
when
coming out.
a 5 alarm hits, if there's any hitch between the unbuckling and the sitting, there's problems.
Yeah.
So what happens is sometimes in this system there is a flaw because sometimes you jump from a 3 to a 5,
Yeah.
and that's a whole different level of panic, right?
I know
So
the feeling.
I am in traffic about 5 miles from my exit, and I'm sitting on a solid 2, which I'm cool. There's music on the radio. I'm all right. Then I escalate to a 3, but we're stopped traffic. So I'm like, okay, we don't that 3. Now let me explain 3. Level 3 is where you're not quite trusting a fart, depending on your age, but you're like, I got that one bubble. If I could just let it out, I would feel better. And then you're all of a sudden you let that bubble out. You're like, oh my gosh, this isn't good. So, long story short, I come in, sweaty cheeks, hustling on a solid 4 alarm.
Hold me up.
Solid 4 to the same Shell station. The fucker wouldn't give me $10 credit for gas, and I fucking book it back to the bathroom, and there's tape. He's like, no, bathroom. I didn't even hear him. I shut it.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck
dude,
you.
the bathroom was overflowed with shit. It looked like gumbo. Up to it, and so that's what caused me to stall. And when I halted, is when the 5 hit, and then I was like, I can't wait. So I had enough to lock the door. But when I started to pull my pants out to hover, I shit all over the inside. It was like all the decency left my body, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
There's a vulnerability.
it is. So what happened how I tell this story, which is true, because it was June. I garbaged the pants. I wrung the undies out in the sink. I cooked ass out of the gas station in my shitty washed out underwear and drove home like that. But in those 15, 16 seconds, there was 30 people lined up to watch me book out in shitty boxers.
That's the way it works.
Hold on, you saved the underwear?
I can't wash the denim, bro.
You are a savage, because I threw the underwear out. Hank ate the underwear from Jim. You saved your underwear.
Rest in peace.
Let me tell you,
savage move.
I blew up these jeans so bad that the jeans weren't salvageable.
Oh, so you left in your underwear?
Yeah.
Yes, I ran out in my underwear.
The underwear were cleaner than the jeans.
The underwear were blue.
That is not
blue
typical.
and brown.
That is not.
I like right before Christmas time. The way it happens is like, I'm sure any man over like 30 years old is going to back me up on this. Is like, you hit that point at night.
Yeah.
If you're a night pooper, like I'm a morning and a night, and like
night
six
pooper. That's
and 6 times throughout the day. Listen, I
would love to be a night pooper.
I'm on doxycycline. I
it's a
poop like
morning-
18 times a day.
On the dot, morning, after coffee, smell coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, like coffee,
So-
coffee or tobacco is like a fucking natural laxative.
So so
Just go.
so like
You're going right now.
if I
Shit, I gotta go.
if I go downstairs, if it's like 9 o'clock and like my basement's kind of like my man cave. I don't like to call it man cave because that sounds weird, but like
It's your man cave.
it's my cave.
It's your fortress of solitude, like Superman.
Because a man cave is like man boobs, mangina,
Mangina. Because that's usually what people think about.
That's right.
With the man cave.
That's
man
right.
Boobs. And
Hey man,
manginas.
you throw man on any of those other nouns, and all of a sudden it becomes less manly. Man boobs, mangina.
Moose knuckle.
Man.
I like that. Right?
So,
I don't know.
That's
where
not
is
man.
on Moose
That's not man.
Knuckle?
Yeah.
No, but I
Dwayne,
think fucking
Man
Dan,
Moose Knuckle?
Yeah.
Danny's
So-
smuggling plums over here.
So
Those jeans are tight.
so anyway,
Tight.
Changes religion.
anyway, so like I went downstairs, and it's like I'll go downstairs, and as soon as I like get downstairs to start to do something, it's like, oh my god, I gotta poop,
Yeah.
and I gotta go upstairs. Well, it was kind of early. The kids were still awake, and
Still awake?
it hit like hard, like it was a good one.
It was a good one.
And like I like blitzed up the stairs, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be a long one. I need my iPad. So like I like instead of turning right and going down the hall to the bathroom, I turn left and I go into the kitchen and grab the iPad. And it's like I go to grab the iPad, and it felt like somebody Gaddafi'd me, and like it felt like I got stabbed
Who doesn't go, though?
in the
Like,
in the colon.
Same thing. It's like, I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go.
And-
And,
no.
like, you're running. It's like, oh, I don't have my phone or my iPad.
No.
You turn around.
Yeah.
Hey,
Waddle
I
back.
got-
you know what?
grab the phone.
I,
and
no,
I got
I
time.
was like, it was
Waddle
like
in.
one of those things. I reached for the iPad, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, and I like go up to my toes, and it's like it's gonna, and I, for whatever reason, I don't remember why, but I was free balling it in a pair of sweatpants, and I'm like, I cannot
Pooping yourself.
be wearing this poop, so dude, we took this podcast and we were like classy.
No, we weren't classy,
Never
but we weren't this
We were
dirty.
a lot classier
We were
than
never
this.
classy. What are you talking
And then-
about?
We hit some good
Listen,
have
moments.
you ever listened to our podcast?
No. Anyway.
We
We
hit
were
some
never
good moments.
classy.
We,
We were
we hit
never
some
classy.
sentimental moments.
No,
but,
I'm talking about before we had you on.
oh shit.
We were classy, and
Way
then all of a
before
sudden
Duane.
Dwayne's on.
Oh,
and-
Bo
and-
wears it down.
Oh,
like
Bo
like
wears
it's,
it down.
it's
So no, listen. I was like, I can't do this, and like I'm serious. It felt like I got lifted off the ground. It's like, oh my god! And I grabbed my iPad, and my wife and my younger daughter, my 3-year-old, are like walking down the hallway, and it's like, get out of my way! And, like I screamed at them, and the both of them like plaster against the wall.
He's like, Daddy's got a poop.
Like I seriously like I screamed at them with pain in my voice to get out of my way. It was that it was like that close, and it was. Luckily, I made it.
Can we talk about something though?
Yeah, let's go talk about something else.
No,
please.
no. Like I would say this. Like I consider myself. I'm a pretty well-read individual. Well, it's kind of my forte with writing and all that. But I will tell you this: that whenever people hand me books throughout the year, I don't know how that works for you guys, but like people hand me books and say, "Okay, you got to read this." I don't read anything because I write all day, so the last thing I want to see is fucking words. But when I shit, if you want me to read something.
Yeah.
If it's stacked on the toilet, it's red.
Oh yeah.
It's the only thing I ever do on the toilet.
Right, but my wife and daughter, when they go in there to go to the bathroom, like I didn't think they ever pooped, but then like they're there like 5 seconds. I'm like, whoa. But like Dad camps out the shit, right?
That's right. That's right. Half hour or more.
Right. Like
I eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
right. Gotta get that
It's the
push
only
going.
time that you can get anything done.
That's
It's when you want to read something, you read on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's where all my reading gets done.
Hey Pat, do we have any questions?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, there's nobody
Nothing.
watching.
No comments. We have one comment.
No.
No.
We have one viewer.
One viewer.
2.
2 viewers.
Thank you for tuning in.
It's bouncing back.
Thanks,
and forth.
Pagano and your wife.
Yeah.
I had lots of my Facebook Live, but
His phone died.
phone
His
died.
phone died. What? Yeah, whatever. We're busy. What's our? Give me the heater.
We are at 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Um,
See now,
do we have anything
like
to talk about besides?
oh yeah. So like that's how this thing works, right? So then you guys will just get started up, it'll get shared, all that stuff, and then people will clip quotes, and there'll be a story in MMA Media tomorrow on like
Jim Miller poops his pants.
yeah, Joe his pants. But no, I mean that's
candid Jim Miller.
let's it go, Jim Miller, let's it go.
Yep.
No, I mean, but that's awesome. That's how
Jim Miller in Cleveland while in Indy.
That's right. Steamer. Steam not pressed. No, Hector Castro, like he commented on Facebook. He's like, "This is fucking crazy." It's like, "Yeah, it's happening."
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, like I said, there's no sense in bullshitting around.
No.
There's no sense in messing around anymore because the fans deserve it. We deserve it. You deserve it. Everybody deserves it. Let's be real, folks.
Yeah, like maybe that starts off a
Let's
trend.
be real. Everybody's pooped the pants.
Yeah. maybe that's
Come on, Greg. When was the last time you shit yourself?
Today. I was at the booth. It stunk.
It happens. Listen, it happens. It's okay. It's and Greg's wearing some sweet boots. I gotta admit.
maybe it's like
Those are nice
poop
boots.
your pants support group. Like it's okay.
And
It
everyone's
happens to everyone.
It does happen to everyone. There's
not
nobody
like
that
it's
hasn't
nobody-
shit their
Yeah,
pants.
come on.
or at least come
It's
close.
Sick,
Or at least come
whatever
close.
it is. I shit the
I
bed.
think we should stop talking about
I
it.
literally
I
shit the
think
bed
we should stop
twice.
talking about
You're
it.
shitting the bed right now.
No, I shit the bed.
He had gonorrhea.
twice.
Not
Literally.
gonorrhea.
Whoa!
I did
Giardia.
not. Wait,
Giardia. It
clear
starts-
that up.
it's-
I did not have gonorrhea.
We are blowing our sound levels right now. You guys are just yelling venereal.
Yeah.
Try to keep it professional.
I would really like to clear that up. I never had gonorrhea. You piece of shit.
Oh my God!
No,
Giardia.
I had
No, that was our
Giardia.
jiu-jitsu coach. Giardia. You had Giardia.
I had Giardia, and I literally shit the bed.
He had
dude,
the beaver fever.
I was literally just for
Drank some
8 days straight
yeah.
before our first fight. I was shitting and throwing up for 8 days straight.
We've
And-
talked about poop so much.
Yeah,
this
I
episode.
was
We had a
like,
poop record.
yo, it was I was tired of shitting my pants, so I was laying in the bed naked, and I was like, you know what? This kind of feels like a real fart. It was like, nope, not a real fart.
I'm gonna trust it. I'm
Clean-
gonna trust it.
clean
That was
the
a bad idea.
sheets.
That was a bad
I
idea.
had to roll out.
Yeah,
I
take
had
that.
to roll out of bed and clean everything.
Take that,
and
Gritty
then-
Bowman.
Like fucking a day later.
The
same
shitty
fucking
Bowman
thing
here
happened. It's like, you know, that was Giardia was probably the sickest I've ever been. It was bad, man. It was bad, really bad.
Let's try to
For-
get off
for
of
8
pooping.
days.
For like the last 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes.
You have it?
Hey, I want to get
You
off.
act like you have it.
I want to get off pooping and talk about kind of like just like a weird theory
Something
I
I
have.
wanna
All right,
You have a
hit,
weird
hit
theory.
us.
So
Hit us up.
so here's my deep theory. You ready? You ready
Yeah.
to get
Right.
deep? So we
Don't.
talked about interviewers. Some interviewers don't go super deep. And
I go
then
all the way
don't
in.
make
It's
it gross.
genetic.
Don't make it gross. So Duane goes deep. Then we talked about how like this ATA show was kind of the same thing as MMA. That there were some people out there who obviously weren't real people. And then I
They're
think
real people.
so. My theory is that real people attract real people, and I think that what we've done a great job of, and what you and Jim and Dan have done a great job of, is attracting real people. I don't want to say normal people because
It's not
Duane's
normal.
here.
No, listen.
And,
Everybody's fucking weird, and if you can't get over that, then you're weird.
See,
I wouldn't say everybody's
No,
weird.
everybody's
Jim.
weird.
no.
No,
No,
I wouldn't say
everybody-
everybody's weird.
Everybody
But-
has something weird about
Yes,
them.
yes,
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm
but-
serious. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, okay, I'm sitting here
can't
on a
get
public
past
forum, and
your-
I told you that I shit my pants. on a
Well,
public
no,
forum.
look, everybody's weird, but not everybody's special. So, like, the way I look at it, this is like
Everybody's weird.
like Pat's saying.
Who designates weird?
No, what
That's my point.
what I'm saying is,
Shit.
like, I look at this thing, like, if you look at like Johnny Cash back in the Sun Records days, right? He's hanging with Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, all those guys. Like, it's a traveling weird show, okay? And it's talented people doing this nitty gritty stuff,
I feel like I slid away from you.
or
Sorry.
these other, like
I thought you
like
actually had room for five.
no, like Kerouac and these other writers. Like,
Yeah.
I see this thing that we do. It's a bunch of things that people don't understand, but the people that do it take solace. To answer Pat's question, it attracts real because
100%.
we're the only
Well,
people going
I
through
don't
this.
think people understand is that just because Jim and I were professional fighters doesn't mean we're real.
No,
We're real people.
there's a lot of fake
People
professional
we
fighters.
poop our pants, just like everybody
Keeps
else.
coming back to poop.
You know?
Stop it.
We're trying to keep
Stop
the
it.
last
No.
15 minutes clean.
No,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, it's,
I asked
just
him.
because
Pleaded with him.
just because that you're special and you're a professional athlete doesn't mean that you're not real.
Right.
You're not a real person.
So that's what I'm saying is that the fact that there's not enough people, and
Duane treats just like real people.
right, and that's why I harp on my peers in my profession because they're not doing a good enough fucking job.
No, they just want to see what is supposed to be an MMA fighter.
There's a
that's-
lot of fake
There's
people
a lot of
out
fake
there.
and
Yes,
fronting.
There's a lot of
There's
fake
a lot of
people out there,
fronting.
especially
that's what people
in
want to
MMA.
see, though.
And
But that's what people want to
but,
see, and that's
like,
what the writers want to do.
that's
is
what the writers
is
are
push
promoting.
push the
fake.
MMA fighter.
Right, so
But
check
we
this
are
out.
all real people, no matter who we are. Conor McGregor's a real person.
Yeah.
He shit his pants. I guarantee it.
I fucking guarantee it.
But what I'm saying
If
is
he was fighting me, he
who
sure
the
as shit
fuck-
would.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a difference.
Well,
It's like these quote unquote journalists. I've never
Exactly.
said that I'm a journalist. I'm a storyteller. Like my dad, I remember coming up and my grandpa and my father, and I was sitting around drinking beer, and I hear these guys tell
At 6.
stories. At 6, yeah. Like no, dude, like sitting around a campfire.
Cracking Miller Lights.
Yeah, telling stories, and the way they
Titty
would,
bar.
and the way they would tell stories. That's how shit's always been done. That's how like the great stories have always been passed on. Like you guys could say from like I heard Pat talking about shit from your childhood. Those were great stories, but they're told orally. They're told like this. So how do you take that? Shut up. How do you take that? And put it on the page.
Pat's good at passing things
Right?
on orally.
See, he's bitching that we're
Herpes and-
going back to fucking shitting. But
Right,
he's
I'm
talking
trying to
about
tell him. I'm
orally.
trying to go deep.
Keep it
Like
classy.
seriously, Jim.
And
Keep it
this
classy.
Keep it
motherfucker.
classy.
Keep it
motherfucker.
classy.
So anyway, like I'm saying, like that's how it was always done. It was always told. So back when fighters were fighting for no money, that's of course that's how that shit got out. That shit was told like, oh man, did you see this? See this? Like before I ever met you, and I had never seen the footage. I remember people talking about your fucking killer guillotine. You're like, oh that motherfucker broke a neck, right? So when I met you, it was
Killed
cool to talk about that. But then it's cool. Like most people
Snapping necks and cashing checks.
exactly.
right.
But the thing is, it's not journalism. It's storytelling.
Yeah.
And if you can't tell the fucking story right, then don't bother. And that's my point, right?
And to circle back to my point, like if you look at who we have, right? So we got Duane here, who told the real story. He doesn't give a fuck about anything but getting your story out, not getting a clip. We spent the weekend here at ATA. We spent a ton of time with Dudley. Dudley is a real dude that doesn't give a shit about anything.
Real as fucking hell.
But just fucking like Dudley
We got
was,
these two dudes.
Dudley's out there,
Fucking
and then
Greg's real as hell. Stan's fake as shit.
Greg will.
Stan.
I like Stan.
we're here with the
Seriously,
ATA guys.
Greg will kill a motherfucker.
Yeah. Greg
We got
would.
Greg.
Stan.
We got Stan. Those are
He's a
those are
big
real
front.
guys making.
Big front.
But Greg,
But-
Greg
Yeah.
is a scientist,
both those dudes are real as
But
shit.
look at this arm, right? So that quote, I'm a huge Dylan Thomas fan. Okay,
Bob
It-
Dylan.
it's not Bob Dylan. God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
He's
So,
a son of a bitch. That
I'm a huge Dylan Thomas fan, and Jimmy Miller has "Don't Go Gentle." But we've all been introduced to the dying of the light story, like that poem. But that's true. Like we only have this one time to do
right.
it, so let's fucking do it, and then don't go gentle into it. Like
That's right.
Rage Against the Dying of the Light.
Listen. Like, I'm pointing at Stan. He's not even
He's
looking
not
at me.
paying attention. He's playing on his phone.
Get
Listen.
Stan, get in here.
It was a few years ago. It was before we opened the gym, so it was over 2 years ago. I was texting.
Well over 2 years ago.
Well over 2 years ago, I was texting, Dan and Pat and our buddy Dees and our brother Michael, and I was saying, I wanted to make like knives and shit. I was like, I'm gonna call it, Thunder Hammer Knife and Tool, and it was like,
Good name.
because I was gonna,
It's like a play on words. He really doesn't have a thunder hammer.
yeah,
Thunderous hammer.
I don't have
It's
a thunderous
more
hammer.
of like a
But like the
small
whole
ball
idea.
peen.
That's what he said. He's a shower.
That's right.
Grower,
But-
not a shower.
But
He's really
I told
not,
him
though.
like
He's more of like just a
that the idea is that
Small
I'm gonna die. You're gonna like I'm gonna build the knife. And I'm gonna carry my knife, and you're gonna find it buried in the skull of the animal that kills me, whether they walk on 4 legs or 2, and that's it. And this motherfucker, this creepy motherfucker. He's a little
not-
creepy.
he's not
No, he's not
creepy.
creepy. Stan is awesome.
Nah.
Like
But
Stan's the only
no
one that
sh-
actually
but-
lend money to in
But
this
no
fucking
shit.
group.
But listen,
I'm
no
fucked up.
shit. No shit. Stan tells me the same exact thing. Stan tells me the same exact thing. That like he's like, yeah, when I die, you're gonna find me with an animal, and you're gonna have my knife in my hand.
It's a little tiny gerbil.
Oh yeah,
When I
I'm trying
die,
to pry it out of
when
my
I-
ass.
when I die, I want to be found next to the animal that was killing me,
It chewed its
Exactly.
way out of Jim's ass.
and bury us together.
So are we talking like
Uh,
Legend of the Fall? Like remember how
Exactly.
Yes.
That's
No.
exactly what we're
Well,
talking
the
about.
thing about
What?
the thing about Jim is you're not the only one, and neither is Stan. There are a
I
lot
know.
of people that think that way.
I know, but you
Me
don't
personally.
run into them that often.
Right.
Thank God.
But I
You know,
remember I
Me
remember
personally, I would like to die fighting. That's it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go down. I don't want to die
On Pat.
a fucking
for less than $5.
a crippled old man. That's,
right,
that's
right.
It.
Because
You
that's
wanna,
the thing
You
is
want to go out fighting.
you
That's
don't
It.
you don't want to fade away. Fading away is the most terrifying thing
No.
for
Well,
people like us.
Fuck
Don't
that.
be
is.
no. Another thing is don't be afraid of dying.
No.
No.
But what I'm
It's
saying
going
is
to happen, and to be afraid to try to hang on to the last second is ridiculous.
no. What
it's
I'm
ridiculous.
saying though, like
you go down,
Dan.
you go down fighting, and
think about this. And I know it's all metaphorical, whatever.
It's not metaphorical.
No, I'm saying
motherfucker.
or literal or whatever. There's so
It's literal.
people are terrified to
Yeah.
fucking
scared.
to move out of what's comfortable, right? So then when you get out there, say if it's hunting or anything else, or in that like just literal place where an animal, it's that battle. People do what's safe, right? And what drives me fucking nuts, because I've been, dude, when we did that camera trip, when I went on that road trip, I had no funding from Bleacher Report, which is the biggest media company in the fucking world. But I did it on my own because I believed in it, and look what it brought me. It brought me a career, it brought me success, but I believed in it.
And now you're sitting between the Miller brothers.
And I am, and I'm probably, it's
Well,
that
what did
same,
it get you from Bleacher Report?
it got me nothing.
Yeah, fuck them. Flow combat.
Flow combat. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, I remember watching Legends of the Fall, and I'm like, you know what? That's a beautiful death, right?
Yeah,
that's
to,
right.
To go out, but like,
Oh, God.
I read the guy who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull, Richard Bach said, if you are smiling on the way to your execution, that you lived a life worth living, right? Because you get it. You're not afraid to die. You understood.
Don't be afraid of it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I think so many people live in this comfort zone. Like, okay, if I make my week-to-week paycheck and I can't leave this job or I can't do this because I need this. It's like, fuck that. Let it all go. I promise you.
Be happy.
One day of living what you love to do is worth it. You know what I mean?
So my big thing, though, with not being afraid to die, I don't want to be afraid to die, is kids change everything. I'm not afraid to die. I love riding a motorcycle. I love putting it right on the edge. Kids have made me afraid to die. For my kids, not for me. I've never been afraid to die, and I love fucking turning up and sticking a knee down. And the only thing that echoes in my head now is
dying
how
over
my
something
kids gonna.
Stupid
Motorcycles aren't
thing,
stupid. Motorcycles are beautiful.
Is
You fucking asshole. But kids changed it.
They do.
Kids
I never said
changed it.
motorcycle.
Whatever it is,
What
kids
I'm saying
change it.
It's
don't
not that
be
it changed
afraid.
it gives you the reason.
Yeah,
It gives you the reason.
go for it.
Like
do it.
honestly, it sounds cliche and stupid, and I'm sure you fucking hear somebody say it every day. But like, every fucking day, I tell myself that it's the day I'm going to die, because I've got crazy little fucking kids. Like, you know my fucking son Wyatt.
He's a madman.
He's a fucking madman.
And he doesn't make
The
you
thing
more
is,
afraid to
he
die?
doesn't. No, he doesn't make me more afraid to die. He makes me more willing to die.
You gotta live.
Because
You gotta
one
live
day,
before you die.
one day, I'm gonna have to jump in front of a bus for him, and I don't fucking care. And I'm getting emotional.
I know.
And I don't care. I'm happy to do it.
They do. They change your outlook.
Well, no, it's not about being stupid and being reckless. There's a difference. Now, when you're young, you don't have kids, you can be reckless.
Yep.
And not afraid to die is a different point. When you have kids, not afraid to die, when you have children and something to pass along, is living a life.
Yep.
And passing on that life to your children.
Yes.
Being happy and being happy that you're here every day.
Yes, and I've been like, for instance, so Wyatt and my son Savage too, like, and they got to meet this summer. Like, those are two fearless kids.
Yeah.
And the pit bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his daughter.
She is.
Watching Savage and the kids, you know, like that. But that was the great thing, right? So if we tie it all the way back in this podcast, let's tie it back to that camping trip, right? So that was when we became friends, and that's when we became family. And then this last little bit, you know, I get to bring my family out. We got to, you know, the kids got to see these guys, and our kids got to meet. And that's, you know what, the riding, the fighting, all that will go away someday, right? It'll all be just flashes. It'll be pictures. It'll be some fucking, just something in a steakhouse, like a picture on a wall. But what matters is 20 years later, we're still fucking having Thanksgiving together, or we're still sitting there talking, or we get to have meals and our kids know each other. And
our kids are having.
Our kids are hanging out, and our kids are like, "Hey, Dad, can we get ice cream?" And the kids, and then remember, like I snapped that picture of your daughter, my son, and your son, and in 10 years when they're grown people and they're still having fun together and they still know each other, then that's great. I remember because they're fucking, like, the Miller kids are fucking crazy as shit, but my kids are crazy too. So it's raining because remember there's a big fucking, like, because there was a power outage, right?
Yeah.
We're in, like, Jim's cooking like fucking Chef, you know, Boyardee in there, and the kids asked. They asked. They asked, "Hey, can we jump on the fucking the railing?" Never there. They asked, like, so the boys are jumping off, but Jim's daughter's like, "Fuck that! They're not these boys aren't doing me. They're diving off the rail. There's like an 8-foot drop, and they're just like bailing over. It's like somebody's going to the fucking hospital, but it was all okay. It was all okay. But you know what? The thing is, like, your kids, you guys are both kids, are going to grow up knowing that their dads gave all they had to do something. my kids know that their dad, who came from nothing, is one of the best in the world at what he does. Okay? Just like your kids know. And you know what? I will take that over a 9-to-5 fucking bank job, clocked out. What'd you do, Dad? Oh, well, I played it safe. Well, guess what? I didn't play it safe. There's ups and downs. There's times where fucking my wife fucking finds me at 3 o'clock in the morning, fucking bounce tennis ball out of my fucking mind because I have to figure out a way to write knockout in a different fucking phrase for the 300,000th time. But do we just want to do it safe? You want to do it in a box? No. You do it the best you can. You go out there, you fucking give
Duane
everything.
goes hard.
Yes.
Duane goes fucking hard. You know what? Jim and I were out in Vegas.
Oh, shit.
Jim's right. Listen, this guy
True story.
goes hard.
True story. Right.
Comes out. We're like, listen, we're going to dinner. Come out with us. Comes out with us. He's literally passing out into his food.
Soup.
Like, dude, like I swear to God, I'm like,
He almost drowned.
yeah,
in the
almost drowned
bowl
in soup. Pull him up. I'm like, Duane, come fucking sleep in my bed. Guy's fucking babbling. But it doesn't want to fucking. He's got to do his job. It's like, all right, so I literally fucking pull him up to bed. Goes home. What did you have?
Dude, I was
fucking hernia.
I was
You had a hernia.
I was bleeding internally.
Bleeding internally. I'm like, he doing his job and doing fucking. Holy shit! I almost watched you die.
Yeah, look at that, dude. Look at those scars. Like
we almost watched him die.
Dude, that's the thing. Is like I remember I ordered a beer, if you remember it, because Shorty was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Shorty was there.
I ordered a beer, and
both of us were like, holy
I felt so bad
shit.
because Jim had just won. It was a big win for him, and I was like, okay, cool. Let's go eat dinner as friends.
Yeah.
And then I get there, and I ordered a beer, and I remember the beer didn't taste right. And the lady's like, I can't fuck up a Miller Lite. You know what I mean? So I drank a beer, and the next thing you know, Dan's like, whoa. And I was out.
He was out.
I was out, and they're like, "Hey, man, let's go back to the room."
I was actually very worried about you,
dude. I was
very
so
worried.
so. I remember like I went back to the room, and we woke up, and then I remember I had like breakfast with Condit that morning. So I booked out of there. And Dan's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, I gotta do this thing." And then
I tried to sleep in the same bed.
Right.
I was like, not a chance, because he was like all over the place.
Yeah, dude. I was like squirming and shit.
He was squirming all over
because my fucking stomach hurt.
Yeah.
And so I get back to Indiana and find out that I'm bleeding internally and that I'd lost so much blood. That's why I was blacking out.
Yeah.
And I did surgery
immediate surgery.
Yeah, right after that. And then so they were like, yeah, if you had lost more blood. But then I remember then fucking Jimmy texted me. He's like, Bo, you can't die on me, man. Like, he's like, he's worried. And that was the thing. He's like, yeah, this job, whatever you do, it's easy to get lost in what you're passionate about. So then you just kind of get caught up. And Vegas is such a weird circus, you know? It's like, this ain't worth dying over. You know what I mean? Like, this MMA thing isn't. But who are my friends? If
nothing is worth.
Think about this.
With your children, if you have children at home,
but
it's not worth it unless it's for them.
But picture this. Picture I had been at some other, like, say, like, VIP party or some other Vegas dinner. If I hadn't been with my friends, like, who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
I was with my friends, and my friends took care of me, made sure. But, yeah, dude,
my
I fucking.
mom was extremely worried about
dude,
you.
I went down. Like,
She
I went,
did,
like.
You did. She was extremely worried.
Yeah, and that's why when I saw him.
Mama Miller's, she's a fucking, she's a mama bear.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't like, oh, yeah, somebody was drinking and they passed out.
Yeah,
it was like somebody's, like, loss of blood went down, like, you know.
Our mother's dove into pools and, you know.
But that's what I felt bad.
Save people.
I felt bad I felt bad like I spoiled
I
your
might have
fucking-
knocked the kid in.
Dude,
he was a douchebag. He had orthopedic shoes on and was kicking me. And I'm pretty sure that I pushed him in.
But dude,
my mom jumped in to save him.
Dude, I felt bad.
I was like 4.
That I ruined your like your celebration.
No, you didn't ruin shit.
Nothing.
You didn't ruin shit. You
Jim Miller doesn't
survived.
mean shit.
It, man.
You survived.
It fucking went down though, man.
Yeah.
I was worried, man. I was the whole night. I was like, Shorty.
Is
Dwayne, there's something wrong with
Is Dwayne gonna? Is he gonna?
I don't know,
gonna
man.
do stuff tonight?
Yeah, Dwayne.
He touched my. He touched me.
Don't
places
go.
I've never been
Don't
touched
go.
before.
Don't go there, Dad.
All right.
I have a wife.
Yeah, I know.
I've ever touched there.
It's a better disappointment. So hey, I feel good about this. I think we
nailed this shit.
We're gonna take the hands-on podcast to the next level.
Yeah, and I promise you that we're not going to talk about pooping our pants as much next time.
But you got it all in one shot.
I don't think you should make promises you can't keep.
Jim.
So Pat, are you good with this?
This is great.
We did good.
We did good.
Danny, you did good.
Episode.
You did good, Danny.
Thank you.
Oh
buddy.
wait, where's
I
my
appreciate
where's
it.
my clinky?
Your clicky's right here.
There we go.
Jim
Thank
and I-
you.
Jim and I don't clink it because he's a douche.
I'm not a douche. I just reached out to you.
You didn't reach out to me, you fucker.
Thank
I
you.
said something.
Thank
to
you. Thank you for tuning into. Shut up, Dan. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. I'm Jim Miller.
Dan
Finley,
Miller.
Dan Miller.
Old Bo.
Pat McGurn.
Well,
We got Stan and Greg. Thank you for tuning in.
A&W.
We appreciate you. Tune in next time.
I guarantee
Knock on Nation.
I guarantee everything doubles after this.